Hi guys and welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester and today I'll be walking through the crypto markets. First things first, I'm going to be starting off with the short term for Bitcoin, the mid term for Bitcoin, and then the long term for Bitcoin. Once I'm done with Bitcoin, I'll be doing a load of altcoin requests in the altcoin request show there. So dump your requests in the chat now and I'll be on to them as soon as I'm finished with Bitcoin. Summarizing on Bitcoin, we've got Ben straight in the chat and Harshit as well. Good morning guys. Nice to see you back on the stream. Straight on with Bitcoin right now. As discussed yesterday on the short term, the hourly time frame here, we do have this pretty big falling wedge, right? Pretty big falling wedge, pretty attractive on all these levels, all these touches either side. Very, very nice stuff going on there. And yes, we all know we dumped off an absolute cliff. And for once, it wasn't Elon doing his stuff on Twitter, right? It was actually Donald Trump. Donald Trump said that Bitcoin's a complete scam, and it just got released on all the major news stations this morning. And yeah, this is primarily another reason why we actually dumped down last night as well, right? Unfortunately, for myself, I was driving. I was driving home from a gender reveal thing. A gender reveal that well, I was driving home, so I didn't actually get in this trade. Very annoying. Very, very annoying indeed. I did actually make a little bit of a pretty penny on ADA there, on another trade there. But yeah, let's just get straight into Bitcoin. I did miss this trade annoyingly, but guys, if you did get in this, very well done indeed. Very nice short position. I mean, it was a pretty hard call to make here because we didn't come back for a retest, but we did break this horizontal support line with quite a lot of momentum towards the downside. Hi there in the chat there, Tom. Nice to see you. Good morning there, sir. But yeah, as you can see here, we did actually break this horizontal support with a lot of momentum to the downside. So yeah, you would have to have pretty big kahunas to be getting in with that volatility coming through there, being a really volatile market there. Pretty scary stuff there for Bitcoin. And we did see a low of literally like 32,100, and I'll get onto the other stuff in terms of high lows and stuff there. Not good stuff at all. But yeah, in terms of this trade that happened here, well done to anyone that actually did get in this. It was around a 4 or 5% trade in terms of that measure move completion. In terms of a non-greedy measure move, as we like to call it. I think it was along the lines of this. Yeah, it was along the lines of this here. Measure move looking like so, and we actually came down and basically completed the measure move. Very, very nice. Holla, holla, NX, nice to see you here. Donald and Elon holding hands. Yep, holding hands and manipulating everything. Good morning there, Kane, as well. Kane, I did try and make you a mod. I don't know if you got my message on Telegram. Couldn't quite get there, sir. But we'll try and get there after the stream, right? I'll drop you a message straight away and we'll get that sorted out. But yeah, so yeah, Bitcoin, at this point in time, we've come down on the short term. We've come down, we've even smashed through the volume weighted ATR band. And we know this volume weighted ATR band does hold pretty big levels of support, right? It does hold pretty big levels of support continuingly. But at this point, well, throwing things around now. At this point in time, we did actually smash below it, which is an indication that we are going to even trend below it if we didn't hold it here. But we've come back up. We've found a nice level of support in the last hour or so. But with that being said, guys, that's not me saying we are going to have the progression to the upside continuously for now, because with these lower highs, sorry, these high lows being eradicating here, all of these basically are gone now, and we're just seeing this continuation to the downside. So I would not be surprised if we saw, in a sense, a lower low getting created very shortly indeed. And I'll get onto the midterm in a second, right? In terms of the RSI right now for the hourly, right? In terms of the RSI right now for the hourly, we did get pretty oversold here. I mean, I'm not surprised. You guys are probably not surprised. We saw insane dumps in the price. So that is why that we're seeing a little bit of buyback power now, because we became oversold. So people are like, yep, time to buy back. And that's naturally what happens with the RSI, right? That's why it's a great indication of where we're going to go. So yeah, so we did get oversold here. So that's why we're having the buyback. Ideally, what we want before another dump down, if we are going to be shorting the market here, for me personally, I would not be, but yep, we would need another consolidation zone for the RSI to basically fizzle out, come back to the center there before we see another big major move to think about there, right? Now let's look at the MACD, right? Let's have a little look at the MACD. Where are we going with that? Yeah, the MACD here, in terms of the hourly, the short term here, we're pretty imminent for a bullish crossover, right? We're pretty imminent for a bullish crossover. This downtrend here has actually fizzled out quite a bit, right? It actually has fizzled out quite a bit, but as I was just saying, it's needed to, because the RSI is basically needs to recover, right? And Kane's saying, Donald affecting Trump wrecked my niece. My nice KSM trade. Yeah, I did actually see that KSM going through there. The fake out to the top side on that. What was it? I think it was a descending triangle, and then it actually dumped down and complete the measurement for the downside. But we will get to KSM there, because I would like to have a little look at that later on after I've done a little bit on Bitcoin here. So yeah, this is kind of Bitcoin at the moment. We are waiting for that bullish crossover on the MACD here. We are waiting for this bullish crossover to see a reversal in the trend. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be very big at all. I do not think it's going to be very big at all. Like, best case scenario, we're going to see a reversal in the trend here. We're going to see a bullish crossover. We're going to see a pretty flaccid thing going on here. It's not going to be good at all. It's not going to be good at all. I do think we're like high-end potential here. I do think like the highest point that we could be getting to here before we actually see that test of the downside yet again is that 32,866, and that basically is just going to give one, the RSI a bit of time to chill out, get itself back in order, and two, the MACD here getting ready for another mega megalithic, nearly stole Hammy's thing there, mega weighty giga downtrend to the downside here coming through. So yeah, a few things to think about there on the short term there. But yeah, at this point in time, I would say target to the top side for Bitcoin would be that 33,885 on the short term here. But it is crucial that we hold this volume weighted ATR band sat at around this 32,900. If we are to see us, if we don't want to see us going any lower, we need to hold this point with our hands. Like, we need to grip it, right? We really do need to grip it. Otherwise, next target is this horizontal level of support at 32,227 there. So yeah, not very good indeed. Not very good indeed in terms of a brief reflection on Bitcoin here. Let's jump to the midterm quick. Let's jump to the midterm. As you've got coming through here, that giant symmetrical triangle, which we've been speaking about for quite a while, right? We've been speaking about it for quite a while. But the main points for this right now, obviously, we have seen a measure move get completed to the downside. But it was pretty small in terms of a non-greedy measure move, but we were potentially going for something along the lines of this, and well, other people would have, right? And they would have seen basically a measure move being completed like that, all the way down, all the way down to this horizontal level of support here. Yes, Dan B in the chat here. What are you saying, bro? NX, please, a bit of V-chain for all the veterans. How you doing, guys? Thanks for coming back to the stream here this morning. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Obviously, new YouTuber on the block here. Need a little extra hand with those algorithms. I do appreciate all your support. But yeah, as you can see here, we are hovering on this horizontal level of support here at that 33,155. Shivanesh, how's your teeth, Chester? Getting better, sir. They are getting better, but they do still ache. They do still ache. But yeah, I did a 3-hour stream yesterday, so it's probably my own fault, right? But yeah, in terms of what's happening here, in terms of Bitcoin, right, we have eradicated these high low points. I was hoping that the lower side of this symmetrical triangle that we got coming through here, we were actually going to hold. We're going to hold the line. We were going to hold this point here, and then we're going to see some sort of progression to the upside, hopefully invalidating these lower high points. But no, unfortunately not. We saw heavy resistance off the top side of this symmetrical triangle coming down here. As you can see, it is absolutely just deep sea dived into the deep dark trenches of the ocean here. We have just fallen down to the dirty abyss. Granted, yes, we are finding a nice little bit of support here on those previous candle body closes in terms of that insane low point from before. But yeah, it's not looking good in terms of a trend reversal coming to the downside here. And I'm saying worst case scenario here. Nice to see you on the chat there, Gamer God. That's what, two days in a row there, bro? Nice to see you here, man. But yeah, as you can see here, my low point for Bitcoin is this around this zone, around that 28,500 sort of zone there. Absolute low would be 28,528. Obviously, we could get a little wiki and then a candle body close on this point here. Oh, I almost forgot. Good morning, Chester. Good to see you here, bro. But yeah, as you can see here, we do have this pretty big channel, right? Pretty big channel forming to come down. Granted, we did leave the channel. We did consolidate along this line for a bit here. But obviously, we have dumped, right? We have dumped. Ideally, if you guys are looking for this $29,000 Bitcoin, great buy opportunity, in my opinion. Obviously, nothing I say is financial advice, but yeah, a great buying opportunity would be around this point here. But yeah, we in order to get there, we do need to lose this crucial level of support, this horizontal support line at that 33,000, which we're currently flirting with the idea. But as I was saying on the short term here, this is a bit of a consolidation sort of period, just because. So that's right in my face there. Yeah, bit of a consolidation period here. Just basically to even out the RSI. Otherwise, we're going to go seriously overextended. And that's not good for anyone involved, right? Neil Esh says, Chester! Nice to see you back on the stream, Neil Esh. Appreciate all the support, brother. And yeah, let's jump back to the midterm right now, because as I was saying, for a target right now, we would need to hold this 33,171 currently above this horizontal support line to see that progression to the upside. I mean, I'm not saying it's out of the water for the progression to the upside, because as you can see here, in previous history, we have actually found a lovely level of support on this level. But what I'm saying is, you need to take into account we've invalidated these high lows continuously now, and we're just setting these lower highs continuously. So that is just one indication that we are going to see potential for some sort of chart pattern looking along the lines of this, right? I don't want it to. None of us want it to, because we want it to go up, and obviously it drags all of our portfolios down in terms of altcoins, right? But yeah, it is what it is at this point in time. We could see a reverse in the trend, as we did here. So yeah, take that into account as well. But it's crucial that we actually find a nice level of support on this 33,000 zone. But I wouldn't take 28,850 out of the picture. Let me show you on the RSI quickly. As you can see here, if we are going to see that, if we are going to see us come up to the upside, we do have this downward sloping resistance line, which all the OGs on the channel out here, the originals, the first 50 or something along the lines of that. I think I'm probably going to do like the first 250 subs that I got, because actually I did hit 300 subscribers yesterday, guys. So I do really, really appreciate your support, and that's absolutely crazy in terms of near enough 4 weeks on YouTube, right? So yeah, absolutely amazing there, guys. But yeah, in terms of the RSI for the midterm here for Bitcoin, I've really to oil my chair. It's really squeaky, actually. In terms of the midterm here for Bitcoin, we do obviously have this downward sloping resistance line for the OGs that know that we do follow this line, and we see the resistance getting played out continuously from this point, right? Continuously. So we do need to think about this if we do see another surge in the price, right? Another surge in the price would correlate. Another Trump is a scam. Another surge in the price would basically correlate us to, in a sense, potentially come up and test the 10 moving average here, coming down on the basically the midterm. And that is sat at around that 34,800 zone. Obviously, take into account we do have these horizontals in terms of resistance to get over. These candle body closers here, nice bounce point coming up in terms of support in previous history, right? So we are potentially going to see a bit of resistance coming through here at that 34,000 zone. But ideally, we want to find a nice level of support, and then we can flirt with the idea of breaking this top zone of this downward sloping resistance line on the RSI. And as you can see here, let me bring that up a bit bigger for you guys here. Obviously, that's dead in front of my face again. Got to work on that. I don't know if that's been a problem recently. Let me jump this up a bit bigger. As you can see, this downward sloping resistance line it's on the way down, right? It's a downward sloping resistance line. Game of God, no, I didn't short. I was actually driving back from Agenda Reveal, really annoyed. But I did have I had a short on ADA, I do believe. A short on ADA, yeah, around this point, and that was a bit earlier in the day. So yeah, I did get into that position, which was nice, and I made a juicy little 8%. But I'll get onto that in a minute, right? But yeah, I did miss the Bitcoin dump, and then I finally got home, and I was like, it's just plummeting down. I've missed my entry. Look, I'm not just going to FUD into it. Let's just chill out. There's going to be plenty of trades. I made that 8% for ADA, so you just gotta chill out, man. If it's dumping, it's dumping. There's gonna be many trades, and that's the beauty of crypto. 24 hours and all that juicy stuff there. But yeah, in terms of this downward sloping resistance line on the midterm for Bitcoin here on the RSI, this is obviously coming down. It is a downward sloping resistance line, so we do need to take into account in the future it is going to become less valid, and when it becomes less valid, we are going to find a level of support upon it, and then basically ride up from it here. Whether it's going to be imminently when we see a recovery of Bitcoin, or whether it's going to be in July. We don't know. But the lower it goes, right, the lower it goes, the more chance that we find support and we find a nice bounce point from there. So yes, that's one thing to basically take into one thing to take into consideration when trading Bitcoin on the midterm here. I'm trying to get a few words in there because I just keep saying the same thing, right? But yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. And yeah, turn that thumbs up blue, as I usually say, right? Yeah, this is Bitcoin on the midterm, right? That would be the target would be to hold this 33,000 zone, right? Let me jump to the long term, and let me show you guys what is going on in the long term here. As you can see, you've got all these rounded blue box zones coming through here, and that's a linear regressional growth curve from the start of Bitcoin, and that basically plots out the very crucial bounce points here for Bitcoin, and very, very good in terms of creating positions, right? So we do need to think about a bounce point, and that is around that 28,900 zone in terms of this blue box zone, right? So that basically correlates with around this sort of area coming through here. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's two indications right there that we could, well, it's not going to be that steep. Well, I hope it's not going to be that steep. We could see some some short-term continuation to the downside, right? And that's basically an ideal, not an ideal, but an idea that we could actually get down that. Granted, we would be looking for a nice bounce point from there. That's going to be a potential great trade there. But yeah, it's definitely something to take into account. In terms of what's happening now, in terms of the continuation of the trend of this downtrend that we got coming through here, as you can see here, where should I buy coins? Done. Where should I buy coins? To be honest, bro, there's plenty of exchanges, right? I'm not here to show you exchanges. I do have useful links in my description of the video, but I've already turned down partnership, actually, believe it or not. Even with the amount of subs that I have, I've actually turned them down already, because I'm not going to be spending half of my video just shitting loads of affiliate links. Like if you want an exchange, there's some in the description, and yeah, some in the description. But if you can't buy a lot of the coins on there, you can use PancakeSwap. Get yourself a trust wallet that you can use PancakeSwap, Uniswap. Yes, it's a bit of a mission getting your head around it if you are like quite new to it, but once you get it, and you can get in early to some really good altcoins there. So yeah, a few things to think about there. But yeah, in terms of Bitcoin on the long term right now, on the daily, as you can see here, we do have this falling wedge pattern, right? This falling wedge pattern coming through. Well, sort of a falling. It's more of a symmetrical, more of a descending triangle here. But as you can see here, it would be a pretty big one right there. So at this point in time for me, I'm going for a little falling wedge, right? Falling wedge. And if this does find a level of support, it is going to be a channel to the downside that we do need to take into consideration as well, right? Binance is good. Yeah, Binance is good, sir. Lethal Mine, nice to see you back on the stream there. Absolute OG over here. And per se, yeah. What's up, broski? Glad you're streaming. Yes, sir. Me too. Love it. Glad you're back on the stream, bro. Appreciate all your support. Smash that thumbs up button if you're enjoying yourself, right? Simple as that. Helps me out tremendously, guys. Yeah, do appreciate all your support. As I hit 300 subscribers yesterday, whoop whoop whoop, skit. Love it. Absolutely love it, guys. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, as you can see, we're waiting for this continuation to the downside, right? The continuation to the downside here for Bitcoin on the long term here. If we are going to see a completion of the measure move, we can see the price of Bitcoin getting around to this 29,800 mark. Scary, scary stuff, and that is going to create, it's in front of my face again. No, it's not. Scary, scary stuff. It is going to create a lower low point in terms of this downtrend coming here. If we are going to see that completion of the measure move coming through here, right? So yeah, I'd watch for that. For me personally, the short is done. I missed it, which is quite annoying. I missed the short, so I'm not going to be FOMOing in. If we come back up and we see a pretty healthy retest, and there's a lot of signs that we are going to basically, if I can see this 21 come down and maybe the 10 moving average come down as well, if they get a nice correlation point as we come up and retest, potentially I might be looking at a short, looking at another measure move to the downside from there. But we're just going to have to see from there. But at this point in time, for me personally, I'm not going to FUD in. I've missed it. I was driving. Bit annoying. What can you do? There's always going to be another trade, guys. There's always going to be another trade, and I don't recommend just jumping into it just because you see it being really volatile and you want to make a quick buck, right? That's famously how a lot of people actually lose money, right? Because the risk versus reward is not there. Gamer God says, what price should I enter? As I was just saying, bro, for me personally, well, one thing, I can't give you financial advice. I can't tell you when to enter, because then if that trade goes wrong, you're going to sue my ass. It's as simple as that, bro. Simple as that. So yeah, you've got to make your own judgment. You've got to do your own TA here. I'm just to give a little educational standpoint on my TA for you guys. And then you can take an insight from that and do your own research. You can do your own research. How would you enter the short? Because it could have been another trap, and it did not retest the level. So how would you set up a short? At this point in time, I was just saying that I'm not going to be entering a short anytime soon, but if I do see this 21 moving average and the 10 moving average come down in the future for a retest of this in a sense falling, well, in a sense descending triangle, but it's a pretty ugly one indeed, right? So I'm just going to go falling wedge. But yeah, so I would be waiting for a retest coming through here. And that basically is going to tell us whether we are going to come through on, and it is going to be a trap or not, right? We're going to see how we're retesting, see if we've got any other resistance coming down to correlate with. And then, yeah, then we're going to be judging whether we're going to be entering a position, right? But yeah, if we do see that insane buyback power to the top side and we do reclaim this horizontal currently resistance point, and if we do find support on that and actually see the progression to the upside, then no, there's not going to be a short position there. And this wick would actually be acting as a high low. Granted, we have invalidated this high low here, but we're still setting high lows at the end of the day in terms of the daily, right? So that is something to think about. Granted, it's not very healthy, and these are insanely big trappy moments here, but at the end of the day, it's still a high low. Unless we come down and we're seeing some sort of bounce off this volume weighted ATR band, or we're seeing, as I was saying, on the 20, on the midterm here, we do have this pretty dominant channel line coming through to the downside here. So as long as if we do see a bounce on this 29, 28 sort of zone there, then yes. Then yes, I forgot what I was saying there. Then yes, we would be invalidating this low point here, and we would be setting a lower low in terms of the progression. Then we can basically see progression to the downside from there and seeing the continuation of the trend. But at the end of the day, on the daily here, it's not so bad because granted we have come down, we have actually only invalidated one higher low here, so we do need to take into account next target point. If we are going to be looking at invalidating another higher low here, it would be that 31,151, and at the rate that this could potentially dump to the downside, I'd be waiting for that stock market open here, because that obviously has a massive effect, as we did see last time on this insane dump to the downside. We did see it basically happen near enough when the stock market opened, right? So we do need to think about that in terms of today when that opens. I think it's 2:30 in England or something like that, in terms of the American stock market open, right? So yeah, this would be the next target to the downside, that 31,150 zone. And below that, if we are going to be setting lower lows, it is going to be sat on this $30,000 mark, right? Crazy stuff indeed. I did previously say, I think it might have been last week, $30,000 was an insane buying opportunity for me. But personally, looking at the charts now, it's not good. Seeing this all come down. If we were going to trickle down and we were going to respect this lower low point coming through here, and saw a bounce before it, then yes, it would have been a great buy opportunity. But yeah, not so good in my opinion, right? Not so good in my opinion. And yes, Mr. Gamer God, sir, the death cross is upon us. The death cross is upon us. That is when the 55 or the 50 crosses with the 200 to the downside. And that basically is an initiation that we are going to see that progression to the downside in terms of a pretty big downtrend, right? Pretty big downtrend coming through. But yeah, that is pretty much Bitcoin sort of summed up here in terms of targets for the long term. Let me jump to the weekly and see what's going on in there. But yeah, as you can see here, we have found a nice level of support on this 55. So yeah, that would be a key target point as well to think about. If we are going to break that to the downside today, potentially, it is going to be around that 32,217. So we are going to potentially find a nice level of support off that, which we currently have, right? But we do need to take into account, we're definitely going to find a consolidation period at least, because it is 55, it is heavily respected. So yeah, it's definitely something to take into account there. In terms of the monthly right now, I was saying about a target being 34,500, I do believe, 34,400 before, and that was basically correlating with this 10 moving average coming up as well. So yeah, we did actually smash through that target to the downside. As I was saying a minute ago on the daily there, we don't want to be invalidating this low point here. If we do invalidate this low point here, then we are going to see that progression to the downside, potentially even this test of this 21 moving average coming through here around that 26,000 zone. Very, very scary stuff there for Bitcoin. We want to hold the line. We want to see that reverse in the trend. We want to see us reclaim this bull market barrier and see the progression to the upside. But at this point in time, it's not looking good. I would be watching this with beady eyes today. Right, let's get some requests, guys. Anyone got any requests? Smash them in the chat there, and I'll get to them. Let me have a little look for what was next for the requests. That was VeChain for NX. Let me jump to VeChain first. First on the list for NX is VeChain. VeChain. I mean, a lot of the charts pretty much look similar, but the key point today is not invalidating these high-low points, right? Because that is obviously an initiation that we are going to see that continuation to the downside. So at this point in time, VeChain is actually holding its own very, very nicely indeed. It had a colossal dump, right? It had a big dump to the downside, but granted, yeah, it was like 20%, but it didn't invalidate these high-low points. It actually bounced near off the support level of this one here. So that's pretty good news. It's pretty good news. I would be inclined to say that we are going to basically come back up. Firstly, test this support point at that 11 cents 66. Test the resistance there. If we can find support on that, ideal. My next target point would be this 21 moving average coming up here at around that 12 cents. And yes, that could happen today. Very, very likely indeed on the 4-hourly chart here. But we do need to think about the chances, right? The chances of Bitcoin falling off a cliff. And it's obviously going to dump everything else, right? But it seems like VeChain is holding its own. But at this point in time, I would be wary for this zone. But yeah, good news. In terms of this high-low point, you didn't invalidate. Let's look at the RSI quickly. You do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through, and unfortunately, you've fallen below it. So we do need to take into account, if you do find resistance here, you would be potentially looking at some sort of sell-off coming through there, right? So yeah, it's kind of in correlation with this 11 cent 7. But I wouldn't be that reliant on it, because obviously, as you can see, what we know about these downward sloping resistance lines, they come down, right? The lower they go, the less reliant they are in terms of finding a level of support on, as we have seen here. We found a nice level of support, and we basically consolidated above it. So I wouldn't rule that out in terms of smashing through it. So yeah, I would be watching this pretty closely as it's correlating with this horizontal resistance line currently at that 11 cents 7 there as well. So that's another indication to think about. Here's what they think about us. But yeah, in terms of the MACD coming through, we have seen this bearish crossover. We did see it fizzle out quite a bit, right, in terms of the trend. And then obviously the dump, the Trump dump. Yeah, the Trump dump coming through here. And we're pretty far away from a bullish crossover anytime soon. But in good news, this downtrend is fizzling out on the 4 hour. So yeah, some sort of indication that we are seeing some progression to the upside there for VeChain. But yeah, as I was saying, I would be looking at that key point. That key point here, this key horizontal for a level of at least a level of support if you can get above it. If not, I would expect some sort of resistance there correlating with the RSI, there, as I was just explaining. Right, let me see what's next. Coming through. I've got to stop saying what Hammy says, right? ADA. Let me do ADA for Lethal Mind. And as I was saying earlier, I did make a juicy trade on ADA, right? I had a juicy trade on ADA. Let me jump to the, I think it's the 1 hour, right? Yeah, the 1 hourly. I made a nice trade on it, not that. Yeah, I made a nice trade on the 1 hourly. As you can see here, very nice, 8% there. I basically waited for us to break the lower side of this ascending triangle here. I waited us to break the lower side of that. Went for that measure move to the downside. Went for the measure move to the downside. Something along the lines of so. Yeah, along the lines of this, yeah. Basically along the lines of that, right? We broke to the downside, and I was like, right, I should probably wait for the retest here. And then we got the candle close, literally bang on the 200 moving average, and then we saw the death cross come through, right? And that's basically, for me, it's initiation. That's like two solid factors there that we're seeing that progression to the downside. And also, we did start to see a heavy point of resistance coming through on this downward sloping resistance line on the RSI. So yeah, there's a few factors there. I was like, you know what? It's worth the punt. It's worth the punt. Usually you wait for the retest, but in terms of when you've got a few things lining up, in terms of patterns coming together, in terms of a jigsaw puzzle making a good picture, I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah, a few things came together, and I was like, you know what, that could be worth the punt, and I went for it, and yeah, made a nice 8% there, very, very good indeed, very, very nice. Yesterday afternoon, I believe that was, yeah, yesterday afternoon, very, very nice indeed in terms of a trade there. In terms of what's happening right now for ADA Cardano. Right now, we need to think about VET to $1. Long way off there, mate. Long way off. But yeah, if all their partnerships come through and stuff, and actually businesses actually adopt blockchain technology properly, and they're not scared of it, then yeah, crypto is going to do very, very well. But in my personal opinion, I do still think the human race is pretty early in terms of adopting crypto technology. That's just my opinion, guys, right? But yeah, in terms of what's happening now with Cardano, we obviously have come down. We have bounced off this volume-weighted ATR band. Let's see what the 4 hour's doing. We are currently trying to find a nice level of support on this $1.54 zone. If we were looking for that progression to the upside, which at the end of the day, we actually have held this higher low and not even come down and tested it. So we know there's a lot of hope here for ADA. A lot of hope. And standing out to me today was ADA and VeChain, and also I think it was Matic as well in terms of holding these higher low points. But yeah, I did actually have a little look at XRP and Theta and Luna. Actually, they're the three that I've chosen in terms of my 3 altcoins of the day in terms of my stream here. But yeah, I will have a look at like the video, your says Lethal Mind. Would mean a lot. Turn that thumbs up blue. Obviously, guys, if you're enjoying it, like it. Helps me out a lot, right? But yeah, in terms of what I think is going to happen right now with Cardano, if we look at this downward sloping resistance line we got coming through here, I mean, it doesn't look that great, right? It doesn't look great on the 4 hourly. Yeah, on the hourly, we do need to think about the chances. If we are going to come up to this point, if we are going to see the progression to the upside here, let's reference it back to the 4 hourly here. If we are going to see that progression to the upside, it's likely that we're going to come up and test this 200 moving average here. That's obviously if Bitcoin doesn't dump again and we don't see that reversal, right? But it's not looking so bad because we have set this high low in terms of this this previous candle coming through here on the 4 hourly. So we are looking at the progression to the upside. But first target for me would be invalidating this lower high wick coming through here. We are literally challenging the lower high body candle close here. Sorry, the body candle open here. So yeah, I would be looking for a target at around this zone here, sat at that $1.59 to start with. If you don't find resistance there, next target point would be that 163. But I would expect heavy resistance of that 163 if you're correlating with the RSI downward sloping resistance line coming through here. Now, right now on the MACD, on the MACD. We do have this trend cycle, right? We do have this trend cycle coming through. It looks pretty invalidated now, pretty invalidated. So yeah, let's get rid of that. Looks pretty invalidated indeed. So so yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, we are in this this downtrend, pretty big downtrend. And you see how flaccid the uptrend was previously. But yeah, it's not bad news because we are seeing this downtrend currently fizzle out. As you can see, this buying power is coming back to the top side here. So yeah, I wouldn't be inclined to say that we are going to have a bullish crossover like really soon. But I would be inclined to say we are going to see it in the future, right? We are going to see it in the future, right? So definitely something to watch in terms of a rejection point coming through here. Because if we do see a rejection point off this 200 moving average, then we're going to see a continuation of this trend, right? Because we could see literally a big spike up, and that's not going to cause a bullish crossover. It's not going to cause a bullish crossover straight away, and then we could see a continuation in the trend, right? So as you can see here, we do have a bit of a fizzle out, and then we do see a continuation down in terms of a downtrend from there. So yeah, I wouldn't rule that out until we I wouldn't rule that out in terms of a trend until we see that bullish crossover. But in terms of the uptrend coming through here, on the 4 hourly, I would be looking at some sort of cycle, looking along the lines of this, right? And that's in a sense that, yeah, as you can see, that has basically played out. That's done. That cycle is done. So in the next uptrend that we are going to see, it's going to either be pretty significant, creating a new higher high point, and then we're going to see some next trend cycle play out from there. Or it could be pretty flaccid, and it could be literally a pretty like a scapegoat sort of thing here, like not a lot going on, but obviously depends on how dominant that momentum is to the downside. And that's why sometimes you can't always reference the MACD, right? You can't always reference the MACD. So so yeah, take that into account as well, guys. No indicator is going to be 100%, and if any indicator was 100%, then that person would literally have all the money. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. Let me jump to another request for you guys there. Let me just see in the chat. Kind of behind on this chat, I tell you. Yep, did ADA. What price should I enter? I'm not telling you that. That's financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I went to short. Yep, did that. T-Fuel, defining the other coins out there. Yeah, Theta Fuel doesn't seem so bad, right? I don't know a thing for that. Let me see. T-Fuel. Let's have a little look at T-Fuel there. I mean, it's been performing pretty good, and it's still performing pretty goddamn good indeed. Yeah, you were actually correct. It is defining the other coins out there. Very interesting stuff, actually. I don't actually know the fundamentals of this coin that much. Maybe I should definitely do some research on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty shocked. Pretty shocked here. It's smashing all-time highs as well. Jesus, what is happening? What is happening? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy stuff there. But guys, I wouldn't be FOMOing into this anytime soon, right? Obviously, you have just set a new all-time high, I do believe here. So yeah, I wouldn't be FOMOing into this. I would be looking at a consolidation period, because you are seeing that progression to the upside. I want to say if Bitcoin dumps, this is going to dump, but by the looks of it, it doesn't really even want to do that, right? So yeah, in terms of progression to the upside, I would be inclined to say you're looking for a consolidation period. But yeah, it's good news. At the end of the day, you are above the volume weighted ATR band coming through here. So yeah, it's looking like you are going to have that continuation in terms of a trend to the upside, right? Which isn't bad at all. You're continuously setting higher high points. These high low points coming through here, they're literally getting dominated every single time in terms of progression to the upside. So yeah, it's looking pretty goddamn good, I must say. Pretty goddamn good. But as I said, I would be looking for consolidation period, as you are getting to that overextended point on the RSI there. But yeah, T-Fuel is definitely one to watch today. Definitely one to watch today. But yeah, I wouldn't be, for me personally, I wouldn't be jumping in right now as you have just set a new all-time high. I would be waiting for, in terms of risk reward, right, I would be waiting for a consolidation period and then another leg up, right? That's just how I trade, right, in terms of risk. Let me have a look. Nice to see you back on the stream there, Nikki. Let me see who was next. T-Fuel. The death cost is coming from Gamer God. That was I think that was on something else. TA Group 2008, we analysed gold and death costs, all the possible timeframes, EMA estimates, and whatever came into collision is pure randomness. Yeah, as I said, it's not definitely a fact, but it's definitely something to take into consideration, right? The cost itself doesn't tell you anything about future prosperity, even if it doesn't. Its correlation is too unreliable. People defending crosses. What are they talking about now? Yeah, I think it's just a lot of people are going on about the crosses and stuff because, in terms of trading, in terms of indicators, they're pretty easy to work out, right? It's pretty easy to work out golden cross coming through here, right? So yeah, it's very easy just to say 2 lines are crossing over and getting a gauge from that. So yeah, I do think that's why Plurat there was today the Trump dump. I think it definitely had a factor in it, because I know Trump does have a pretty big cult following, right? Pretty big cult following. So I definitely do think Trump had some sort of influence here. And I would say the stock market open today is going to have an effect as well, because obviously we know how good the economy was doing in America in terms of the stock market when Trump was in. He was doing a lot better, right? Because he's a cold hard businessman at the end of the day. Not a great president, but the cold hard businessman, right? So yeah, he's a finance dude. So I would expect some sort of dump as the stock market opens, because he does have a lot of a cult following inside of that as well. Like Jordan Belford, he actually follows him pretty heavily as well. So I would be and obviously we know how big he is in stocks and stuff like that, right? And the influence that he has. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty domino effect, I do think, when the stock market opens. So yeah, I would take that into account with the old Bitcoin, right? With the old Bitcoin. What is next here? We did 88K. That's why I did it. Desperate to be relevant. Yeah, he is desperate to be relevant. It'd be really interesting. I don't know if he got banned from ever running for president again, but really interesting to see if he does go again and whether he will get elected. Did you do BTT? No, I didn't, Tenzoni. Let me do that for you, sir. BTT. BitTorrent. At this point in time, let me start on the daily. Let's see what's going on the daily here. Obviously, we do have these dominant horizontals here coming through at that 42 and that 46 zone there. You can see the prices. Yeah, 42 and the 46 zone coming through there. I mean, it's not the end of the world because you didn't invalidate this high low point here. So you are potentially still looking for that progression to the upside. But with that being said, you do have these lower high points being continuously set here. So yeah, it's pretty symmetrical triangle formation basically playing out here. So I would be looking for that coil up before you see a break to either the top side or the downside. And when that happens, you can get a better gauge on what's going to happen there, because if you do see that break, if you do see the resistance off these points here, you are going to basically have that progression to the downside. And likewise, with invalidating these high-low points coming through here, if you are going to see that break to the downside coming through here, don't forget XRP. I won't, sir. It's on my list. It's on my list. Oh no, I did actually miss it, didn't I? No, BTT 10s only, and then it's AR for Shivansh, and then XRP. Yes, sir. Right, let me see. Where were we with this? Right, BitTorrent. Let's jump to the 4-hourly on BitTorrent. Let's see what's going on here. In terms of what's happening, as I was just saying, we do have these high-low points to think about. If we are going to see any point of resistance, it is going to be, if we are going to progress to the downside, right, it is going to be around this zone here. And we did see a little hint of that earlier, right? But in the terms of seeing that rejection to the upside, it's looking pretty good, right? It's looking pretty good in terms of finding a level of support on this horizontal support point at that 36.45 there. So yeah, definitely something to consider there. If we do get a nice 4-hourly candle close there, that's going to be nice, because we could look at that progression to the upside. But yeah, in terms of the short term right now, I would be looking at let me jump to the 1 hour. In terms of the short term right now, I would be looking at continually invalidating these lower high points coming down here of that previous trend. If we are going to look at that progression to the upside, I mean, it doesn't look so bad, because I mean, it's not so good that we invalidated this high low point coming through here with this previous downtrend, but we have seen that progression to the upside from there, and obviously finding a heavy level of support on this volume weighted ATR band here. So yeah, very good gauge to see what we're going to do there. And yeah, this is obviously when we do lose the volume weighted ATR band, we always basically reclaim it. If it takes a month, we always reclaim it. So yeah, at this point in time, we're finding a nice level of support on it. So that could mean that we are going to see some progression to the upside. But yeah, as you can see, resistance also forming off this 21 moving average as well. So yeah, in terms of an hourly time frame target, I would be looking for a close above this 21 if you are looking for that insane progression to the upside coming through. But yeah, you have seen a pretty big pump here, so I would be looking at a basic consolidation period around this zone here before you see that next leg up, before reclaiming this consolidation sideways period that you were basically chilling in before, right? V-shaped recovery would be ideal for you, sir. In terms of the RSI, what is happening now is basically because of what is happening in the RSI, right? In terms of being oversold, right? That's why you're having this buyback power. So ideally, you are still central, right? So you still have a long way to go if you are going to see that progression to the upside there. So yeah, a few things to think about that in terms of BTT, BitTorrent there. But yeah, target wise, I would be saying if you lose this volume weighted ATR on the hourly, your next target would be this 34 microcent, whatever they're called, in terms of that zone there. What was next? XRP there for GamerGuard. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously, and turn that thumbs up blue, as I usually say. Right, let me jump to the 12 hourly here and see what's going on. As you can see here, the high low point that everyone's been talking about. We do need to think about that in terms of a level of support coming through there. God, my throat is sore today, I won't lie. In terms of a level of support coming through here, that would be a heavy point that we do need to hold. If we don't hold that, then I would be seeing us going lower. And then we can talk about the idea of breaking the next horizontal level of support sat at this candle body close from that previous low point coming down there. So I would be looking at around that 78 cents. If we lose 78 cents, then the next point would be this low zone coming through here, and that's down at around that 65 cents there. I mean personally, I know that the SEC has still got their thing going on with XRP, and I don't know if it's cleared yet. So yeah, I would be waiting on that to see what's going on with that, right? See what's going on with that. But yeah, if you are looking for progression to the upside with XRP there, I would be inclined to say you do have this pretty big, juicy, giant trend line coming down in terms of a downward sloping resistance line from the top side. From that, is it the all-time high? Yep, maybe. Yeah, near enough, yeah. The all-time high there for the XRP. So yeah, if we do see that progression to the upside, I would be looking at a pretty serious resistance point sat at around that $1.45. But obviously that's we're a long way off. We're a hell of a long way off in terms of that, because we do need to get over these insane lower high points, which the OGs on the channel there, you know how bad the resistance is going to be from here, because as I've been talking about for a long time now, we are going to see some heavy resistance from there. But it just seems like we just can't get there. We can't get anywhere near there before seeing those swift rejections. So yeah, we've got a long way off to get there. But we do need to take into account the resistance for that happening, right? And that's obviously the 12-hour basically planned out. In terms of the 12-hourly target, we're looking at pretty on this 89 cent zone. If you can get a nice 12-hourly close on the 89 cent zone, you could potentially see a pretty flaccid candle coming through in the next zone coming through here in terms of a consolidation period before you see that leg up. But at this point in time, you do have these lower highs continuously being set, which is not good news, right? It's not good news. But good news is you are holding the zone in terms of this high low here. So let's jump to the 4 hour and see what's going on here. Me holding ship. Oh god, bro. RIP, bro. Let me just have a little look here. What's going on? XRP, as I was just saying, this high low point is pretty crucial. 4 hourly, it's pretty much the same sort of thing here, but we do need to see this trend reversal, and it's not looking so bad, right? It's actually looking pretty good in terms of not having a wick coming down off this candle body open coming up here, and actually invalidating this lower high point here in terms of what's just happened on the 4 hourly. What 8 hours ago, 12 hours ago. So yeah, we have seen that progression to the upside, not looking bad at all. Target to the upside, it would be that 89 cents as stated there on the 12 hour. In terms of the RSI right now, we did get oversold pretty heavily, right? We do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through, which we do need to take into account, right? Yes, we're near the end of the cycle of it, but when we get to that point and we do see that buyback power, enough momentum to claim it, we could be looking at a juicy bit of support, a big juicy orange juicy bit of support at that 45 zone there. So yeah, I would be watching that pretty tightly, pretty beady-eyed. I would be watching that if we are going to see a nice progressionary move to the upside here, because if we do hold that on the RSI there, it's looking pretty bullish indeed in terms of a reversal, as long as we hold this high low, right? As long as we don't fall below this high low and lose that 80 cent zone. But yeah, that's pretty much XRP done for you there, sir. Let me have a little look at AR. I did try and find AR before, I think for someone else on the stream. Oh no, simple as that. It's as simple as that. Not a lot of information, no, I must say, Shivanish there. Not a lot of information, my good sir, but it did just go down. It did just go down for quite a while, but we did see a bounce point at this low zone at around this 10 bucks and 69 giggity. Yeah, 69 point there, around that point there. But we have seen progression to the upside from there. I mean, in terms of a trend line coming through from the bottom side here, from that low point there, we do have a nice level of support. As you can see, we have found it there, and we did see that progression to the upside. I mean, it's not so bad. It's even holding its own in terms of what's happened. I mean, it did dump down pretty progressively over the last day or so, due to probably Bitcoin falling off a cliff there. But you can see the buyback, the strength in this coin right now. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. But yeah, it's pretty good indeed. But obviously you can see we did go a bit parabolic here, and we have gone a bit parabolic here. So we do need to think about that correctionary period before FOMOing in, right? Before FOMOing in. So I would be inclined to say a nice consolidation period before another leg up. If you are going to see another leg up here, you are definitely going to find a bigger correction coming through in the future, right? Bigger correction coming through in the future. So yeah, definitely something to take into consideration. In terms of a target, it would be nice to see a close at this $20.91 there. Get a nice candle close above that. Potentially consolidate along this It's not the previous, not the all-time high, but the previous high point of this trend coming through here, right? But yeah, as I was saying, that is parabolic, so we do need these corrections. But yeah, this is obviously Bitcoin coming through there. So if Bitcoin wasn't coming through there, then we might have seen a bit more of a healthy uptrend after this zone, maybe just a consolidation period and then another leg up, and then you would have been sat at around 25. But obviously Bitcoin fell off a cliff here, so what can you do? What can you do, guys? What can you do? Let me have a look quickly. Yes, AI, I would say that target point would be that at that $20 and 90 zone. Let me have a look at. That's the 1 hour, right? Yeah, not too much information here, sir. But yeah, I would be looking at that sort of zone there to get over. I mean, in terms of trend lines coming through, we do obviously have some pretty dominant points to get over, and you are currently respecting that zone coming through here. But yeah, I mean, it's looking good in terms of compared to the rest of cryptos, but it is a bit too parabolic in my opinion. So I would be looking for those consolidation zones for it to even be healthy there, sir. For it to be healthy indeed. Let me have a look at what was next. I did XRP. Looks like we'll be running again in 2024. Potentially, bro. Nice one, bro. Matic for Antonio there. Nice to see you back on the stream, Antonio. I do recognize your name there, sir. So let's see what Matic's doing. Let's see what Matic's doing. On the 1 hour here, we do have this pretty big falling wedge. We do have this falling wedge coming through here. On the 1 hour, actually. Let me jump to the 4 hour. I prefer the 4 hour. I prefer trading on the 4 hour, right? Yeah, we do have this pretty big falling wedge coming through here for Matic. I mean, I remember this consolidation period and everyone was losing it because they want Matic to be just shooting up to the moon after we saw that that crazy stuff coming through here. But obviously with the insane pumps that we saw through Matic in terms of that insane recovery after that insane low point that we saw there, guys. Yeah, what is happening with Matic right now? Obviously, we do have this falling wedge, right? That's an indication we could be looking at a potential trade, right? Could be looking at a potential trade here. If we are going to break to the downside here, I would be looking at a measure move, looking along the lines of this, probably potentially seeing maybe even a $1.10 Matic there. A few things to think about there because I'm not being funny, right? This isn't so bad because we've seen this insane correction, right? We've seen this insane correction in terms of percents. We're all here for this. We're all here for this. 200% gain there for Matic in not a long time at all in terms of a recovery compared to all the other coins, and that's why it got a lot of recognition in terms of the top 50 cryptos coming through there. It got a lot of recognition because it was one of the only ones that was holding its own in terms of holding its own, right? So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do break to the downside, and that would basically act as a form of correction from this insane pumpy point there. Yes, we have seen this progression to the downside, so that could also form as a nice point of correction. But in terms of the hope for Matic, it is just kind of trending down at this point, so we do need to take that into account. But yeah, I wouldn't be inclined to, as soon as we break, enter that short position as soon as possible. I would be waiting for that retest, and I would be referencing a few other things here coming through. And as you can see, we do have a pretty big downward slope and resistance line coming through on the RSI on the 4 hourly here for Matic. So if we are going to see that progression to the upside here, we are going to see potential tests of these horizontals here, and that's sat at around that $1.53, $1.57. So yeah, in terms of resistance, right, I would be looking at those points in key levels of resistance. But as you can see, we do see a nice little consolidation point coming through here, and a big pump coming off that point as well. So yeah, next target would be this 200 moving average, and that's sat at around that $1.49 there. And then after that, I would be looking at the horizontal resistance point, which, to be honest with you, I do think you are going to find a bit of resistance coming through here. But yeah, as you can see, in terms of previous history, right, if you do find support, it's looking pretty goddamn good. Pretty goddamn good indeed. So yeah, I would be looking at finding support on that and seeing that progression to the upside. If you're gonna wanna find support on that, you're looking at a measure move looking along the lines of this. If you are gonna break to the upside here, I would be looking at potential trade in terms of a long position, right? Obviously, that is obviously on the basis that we find a nice level of support on these horizontal resistance points currently. And also, we got this 21, we got the price action, and we got the 55 moving average coming down as well. So imagine you found support on all of them. You're looking pretty juicy for that long position, and we know how Matic behaves when it does want to go up, right? It does shoot up like holding a gun in the air. It shoots up pretty fast indeed, right? So yeah, that would be around a 13% trade there. And in terms of resistance points, it is actually correlating pretty well with the zone that we've got coming through here, right? The zone that we've got coming through here, as you can see, nice levels of support being found on that zone and that $1.79. I'm not saying we're going to find support on it. I'm saying it's a great take profit point if we are going to be looking for that completion of that trade. And around a 13%, very juicy indeed. Obviously, guys, nothing I say is financial advice. Don't just go and enter these trades, right? I would recommend you doing your own research. I'm here for an educational purpose only, just to give you guys a little insight on what you could be looking at doing, right? What is next? What is next? Matic. Yeah, guys, I do appreciate all the support here. RIP ETH, RIP Dodge, or Doge, sorry. I keep calling it bloody Doge, no Dodge. People call it Dogcoin. I find that funny. Yeah, let me do a little bit of ETH, right? Let me do a little bit of ETH. God, that has actually come back down, hasn't it? I know it came down, but it's one of the ones that actually held its own in terms of these high-low points. Coming through here around that 200 and 30, yeah, 2,300 around that zone there. I did read something this morning that it actually came right back up, but I don't think it did. It's had a nice pivot point on this monthly pivot point that we've got come through here. Yeah, in terms of a target for ETH right now, as you can see here, we do have this pretty dominant horizontal coming through here in terms of a resistance point, which we've given it a test. We tried to test it at that 2,559, but as you can see, the resistance is futile. The resistance is here. Viva la resistance! It is here. It is here, and we're finding it. We're getting pushed back. It's not looking so good for ETH right now, but crucial candle close for the next 4 hour, which you are. You're 3 hours away, bro. You're a long time away. So I would I hope that you get a candle close above this horizontal level of support, that $2,514 there. If you don't, I would be potentially looking at progression to the downside. But with that being said, we do have this high-low point being set here. As long as you don't invalidate this in terms of a swing down, in terms of the candle, right, in terms of the wick, then it is looking good for the short term to see a bit more progression, potentially consolidation, validating this pump that you got coming down here. So yeah, I wouldn't be seeing insane dumps to the downside for Ethereum right now. Obviously, depending on what the old Bitcoin is doing, and as you can see here, we are currently testing. We're currently testing the 10 moving average, and obviously the volume weighted ATR band, and the RSIs. It's still oversold in a sense, but we're getting to that point. We're recovering. We're recovering for another dump. Yeah, a few things to think about there. Yeah, Ethereum targets would be to actually come over and smash this zone at that 250 to 2,559 zone. Otherwise, you're seeing that progression to the downside, potentially consolidation, as I was just saying here. Yeah, in terms of downward sloping resistance line on the RSI that you got coming through for Ethereum right now, I mean, it's pretty dominant, right? It's pretty dominant. But as I was saying there, when these trends do actually get to this low point, it's likely instead we do find support on them instead, which is very good indeed. So we would be looking at a nice level of support coming through here if we can break it to the upside. So yeah, another point to watch there for Ethereum. Obviously, that is going to correlate if we do find a juicy point of support coming through here. But with that being said also, we do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through here as well, which you're doing to think about, because we found resistance off it before, so we could find it again. So yeah, I would be inclined to say it does correlate with the consolidation zone coming here. Correlate with the correlation zone. yeah, crazy stuff happening there for Ethereum. Yeah, a few things to look out for. I mean, in terms of what is happening right now, we did actually break. We broke out this ascending triangle to the upside here. Sorry, to the downside, and then we basically rode it up. I was actually looking for a potential trade here. I remember I was looking for a potential short position coming through. But no, it literally just kept going, right? It just kept going, so I didn't get in. It just kept going, just saw the momentum push to the upside. So it just kept going. I was like, right, okay, I'm leaving that. And then yeah, I actually missed this. Very annoying, because it does look pretty juicy indeed in terms of a short position to the downside. So yeah, well done, guys, whoever got in on that. Very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. What was next? SHIB has a lot of hodlers. Yes, but SHIB is a joke. Yeah, I would never buy SHIB. It's just gonna go down, bro. It's just gonna go down. Let me have a look. Please do Cosmos. Take a look at CKB, please, Chester. I mean, I can try and type in Cosmos. I don't really know the thing for it. Oh, Atom, right. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Yeah, so let me do a bit of Atom there for Gamer God. If only Chester was our teacher at school, we'd all be rich by now. I hope so. NX. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make you guys money and educate. We're all here to make money. That's why we're here, right? We're here to make money. But yeah, Cosmos, Atom, lovely indeed. As you can see, we are still holding the line here in terms of this this high-low point. Not so bad at all. Not so bad at all. We're seeing that reversing the trend like we're seeing on a lot of the charts because we did get near enough oversold here on the RSI on the 4-hourly here. So yeah, a lot of the charts looking the same, unfortunately, but we do have a pretty big trend line coming down here, right, that we do need to think about if we are going to see that progression to the upside, right? Progression to the upside. Slow down, Chester. Progression to the upside. But we do have these called up moving averages coming through here, and obviously that's an indication that we are going to see that insane dump to the downside there. So yeah, if we are looking for that progression to the upside, we would be looking at a target test of this 21 moving average at around that $14. If we can get support on that, we do got the 55 as well. If we can get support on that, it's going to look even better for us indeed. But we do need to think about the chances of heavy resistance off this downward sloping resistance line as played out in previous history, right? So yeah, granted it is the 4th test, so it is, we got a little bit more chance of breaking it to the upside here, but yeah, a few things to think about there. In terms of targets for Atom, let me jump to some smaller time frames, see if we get some better horizontals coming through here. Yeah, 21's coming down here on the 1 hour time frame. So yeah, I would say the next short term target for the hourly would be around that $13.74 in terms of finding a level of support. But yeah, you do have a little cheeky bit of a F cross coming through here as well, and that's obviously a signification that we could be coming down from there. So yeah, a few things to think about there, guys. A few things to think about there in terms of Atom. In terms of positive things for Atom, we have seen the bounce off the volume weighted ATR band, which is pretty reliable. It's pretty reliable. If we're below it, then we trend below it. If we bounce off it, we find a lovely level of support there, as you can see in previous history, right? We do, if we're below it, if we're below it, sorry, we reclaim it or trend below it, as you can see here. If we just bounce off it, it's looking pretty good for a little bit of progression to the upside. As you can see, it's pretty respected. Across the board, it's pretty respected there. So as you can see right now, in terms of the live price action, in terms of the hourly time frame right now, we have seen that bounce point a couple of times, that consolidation zone, and now we're seeing that upwards momentum. So that's an inclination that we are going to see an inclination. We are going to see that progression to the upside, basically challenging this 21 moving average coming through pretty soon at that $13 and potentially around that $13.60, $13.74. That would be your short-term target for me. I mean, personally, if you are gonna see the resistance off this lower high point coming down here in terms of this downtrend, I would be inclined to say that your next test to the downside would be the $12.77 there. Potentially, maybe even wicking down to the volume weighted ATR band there. So yeah, definitely a few things to take into consideration there. But as you can see on the RSI here for the hourly, we are not quite well, we got to that oversold point, right? We got to that oversold point, and we're having that buyback in surge of buying power to the upside, right? So in terms of seeing another big move either to the downside or to the upside, right, we do need to see that central point getting formed on the RSI just to give us a little bit more confirmation that we're not going to see. We need some validation for this insane dump, right? That's what we need. That's what we need, and that's why we need to get back to the central point of the RSI before we can see any sort of potential move to the upside in terms of being overbought and oversold there. It is 76% up. Interesting. I don't know what is 76% up. I don't think it's Cosmos. But yeah, I recommended you to my crypto group. They'll be coming on live stream with you. Oh, thanks very much, Nikki. Keep up the good work. Means a lot. Really does mean a lot. I love all the support, guys. And yes, I did smash 300 subscribers yesterday. So really thank you ever so much to you guys. You guys are making this happen for me, and it does really, really mean a lot. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Means a lot out there. And guys, any requests, smash them in the chat now. Smash them in the chat, and I'll get to them. Oh, it was let me do CKB there for Tom. CKB there for Tom. CKB. What do you guys think about me chucking some music on the stream here? I know you're cooler. I know you're cooler, brother. Look at Segmars. I know you're a cooler. I know you're a cooler, brother. Look at Segmars. Cool, bro. But yeah, guys, would you like just a little bit of opinion here? Would you like a bit of music on the stream here? Because is it just a bit dull with just my voice? Would you like a little bit of backing music? So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know in the comments on what you think here of what how I could improve the stream if I can, right? Because obviously I'm doing this for you guys, not for myself. Like obviously I enjoy myself doing it, but if I can improve it, then absolutely I will. So yeah, if you guys want music, let me know. Yeah, in terms of that all-time high point created there, I do believe, yeah, we do have a pretty big level of resistance coming down from that point, as you can see here. Yeah, hell yes to music. Hell yes to music, says Kane. So yeah, I would be inclined to basically add some music in soon. And guys, if any of you are musicians out there, let me know. Send me your music. Send me your music. A bit of liquid drum and bass. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I think maybe I should do like a really quick TA and I'll just come through to it. Nicky's on that 80s rock music. Very cool stuff indeed. Correct me if I'm wrong, like Stone Roses sort of stuff. Is that right? Don't really know. Just one guy talking, but preferred without tunes. We'll just throw my own on. Interesting insight there, Tom. Yeah, apparently you're currently being outvoted there, sir. You're currently being outvoted. But my main problem with putting on music, if someone doesn't like the music that's on, that's really cutting my my market in a sense, right? Because it can form an opinion on what's going on here. So I do need to take that into account in terms of my target audience, right? Because I'll basically be cutting my target audience if they don't like the music. So yeah, that's why I'm asking your guys' opinion there. Some upbeat motivational music. Sounds good indeed. But yeah, in terms of what's happening on CKB, and I'm going to take a break in a minute, guys. Have hit that hour. I drink a lot of water when on my stream, so I do need to go to the loo. But yeah, as you can see here on CKB here, we do have pretty heavy resistance point coming through at the top side here, so we do need to take that into account. But also we do have a nice level of support coming through here, constantly setting lower highs. Unfortunately, we would have liked to see this pump come up and invalidate this lower high point coming through here, and then we would have seen a bit more of progression to the upside potentially, and then we could have looked at even the potential of challenging this lower high point coming through here. But in terms of what's happening here in terms of higher lows, we are looking at the progression to the upside coming through here. So yeah, it's not all bad. And yeah, we did see a bit of a dump, right? We saw a bit of a dump. Obviously, we are on the daily here, guys. We did see a bit of a dump coming through. Obviously, with the whole Trump dump coming through here. Chest to the TAMC. Yeah, I've slowed down a bit. I was pretty crazy at one point. I think it might have been nerves, but yeah, I was literally spitting bars over the charts. Crazy stuff. But yeah, at this point in time, obviously this pretty dominant level of support, as I was just talking about on the daily chart here. We are seeing a lot of momentum to the upside from that. So if we are going to come down and even flirt at the idea of touching that, it is correlating with another horizontal level of support at this 1 cent 64 there. So I would be looking at a nice progression bounce from there if we're going to see history repeat itself like we have done along this along this upward sloping support line coming through here. So yeah, a few things to think about there. Obviously, we do have major moving averages coming down there. The Wolf of Wall Street chant on repeat in the background for 3 hours straight. Brilliant. Very, very funny, NX. Yeah, that would be. I think that'd be really. It might get quite annoying. And I'll probably just do the chant continuously if it's on the background, right? But yeah, at this point in time, in terms of a bounce point, it would be this zone here about that 16. Well, not 16, that 1 cent and 65 there. But yeah, in terms of a target, I would be looking at progression to the upside and looking for this 55 moving average, and that's sat at around that 1 cent 86 there. So if you are looking for a short-term target, for me personally, that would be the one. But with that being said, let's jump to the 1 hour time frame and look at these lower highs that we need to invalidate before we can even see the progression to the upside from there. Next target for the lower high point. We did it. We were flirting with the idea in terms of this little tiny uptrend coming through here. But the next point would be this zone coming through here at this 1 cent 79. That's going to be a nice short-term target for yourself there. And then after that, you would be looking at this correlative point, which is going to correlate with the 21 moving average coming down here and these lower high candle body closes here at that 1 cent 83. So yeah, there's some short-term targets to the upside there for you, sir. But unfortunately, you are setting these lower lows, right? You are setting these lower lows. So I'm inclined to say before you are to see that reversing the trend to the upside, I would be inclined to say you're likely to come down to this sort of zone here, potentially having the volume-weighted ATR band coming up to say hello, give you a little kiss here, and then bounce off and give you that swift rejection in the club, right? So yeah, there's a few things to think about there, but I would be inclined to say you are going to come down to this zone before seeing that progression remove to the upside, right? But yeah, as I was just saying, we do see a very nice level of support coming through there. So yeah, hopefully you get there and you bounce. You bounce to the goddamn moon, sir. Good day. I just came along. Can we check BNB? Yes, we can. Nice to see you back on the stream. Abodun. I think I was saying that right. There. Abodun. Nice to see you back on the stream. But yeah, I will check that. I am just going to shoot for a quick break here, guys. And then I'll be back. I won't be long at all. I'll probably be literally like a minute, right? But yeah, then I'll be back on the stream for you guys. And then what was next on the chat? I think that was it. We'll jump to BNB straight after that. But yeah, guys, any other requests, smash them in the chat now, and I'll get to them once I'm back from my break. But yeah, peace out, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Hi guys and welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester if you're just joining, and I've just come back from my break. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a TA on Bitcoin, and thank you for everyone who's sticking around through the break there. I know I wasn't very long, but I know a lot of people can get pretty impatient as they want to see continuous content. So yeah, thank you guys very much for sticking around there. Let me just do a little summary on Bitcoin here. We did actually lose this volume weighted ATR band on the short term here. Not good. It's not good because we have just set basically a lower high point coming here. So it is likely that we are going to come down and potentially test this level of support around this 32,222. Pretty much coming in. First time target. Next target I would be looking for would be this candle body close at this 32,593. If we do lose that zone there, which we are likely to actually come down there because we are going to see that resistance playing out from the volume weighted ATR band coming through here, I would be inclined to say that we are going to come down to this zone here. Yeah, just a little brief on Bitcoin for you there, guys. But as I was saying earlier, we are still pretty overextended on the hourly here for the RSI on the short term here for Bitcoin. So I would be inclined to say that we're due some sort of consolidation period coming through here. But at this point in time, it's not really looking that consolidation. Really, it's just looking like we're seeing pretty volatile stuff coming through here. So yeah, the next target point would be that 32,614. And obviously, if we are going to come down to that sort of zone, then we need to think about what effect it's going to have on the alts there. So yeah, a few things to think about there, guys. Let me jump to was it BNB there for Abiodun? BNB, sir. I've got some on my watch list on what I'm doing. Yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Turn that thumbs up blue. Can you turn the thumbs up blue? Does it turn blue? That's the question everyone's asking. But yeah, in terms of what's happening here for BNB, and we did have let's jump to the 4 hour here. We did have this pretty big rising wedge. I think that's pretty much, yeah, pretty big rising wedge indeed coming through here, which we were looking for that break, right? We were looking for that break to the downside. As you can see here, we did have a measure move coming through from that there. Oh, here comes the Bitcoin beats raid. We did have that this measure move come to the downside here from this point coming through like that, right? And that's basically, in terms of a percent for that short trade that we had coming through there, we were looking at something along the lines of that, around a nice 12% coming through here. Hello, the Hamilton raid. The 12% coming down there. Very, very nice indeed. So yeah, well done to you, sir, if you did get in on that. In terms of a target, in terms of the live price right now for BNB, I mean, we are holding the line here. We're holding this horizontal support point at that 339, which is good stuff indeed. Granted, we did invalidate this high low point coming through here, but we are holding the line in terms of these high low points that we don't want to invalidate here. Worst case scenario, we do lose this support point and we come down and we challenge this high low point here. Hamilton V2, here comes the raid. Hello guys. My name is Chester. Funny stuff. Yeah, so this is the next level of support that I would be looking at if we were to lose this current level of support at this high low point here. But with that being said, we do have this volume weighted ATR band to think about on the hourly time frame. We do primarily either respect it or trend below it, as you can see here. So we do need to take that into account with what we're going to do, and watch that with our beady eyes there, just in case we do lose it. If we lose it, I would be inclined to say the target would be this high low point coming down at that 310 mark. In terms of what's happening here on the RSI, let's have a little look here. Have a little look. As you can see, this downward sloping resistance line coming through, we're near enough at the end of it. We're near enough at the end of the cycle of this. So will the market recover in June, July, holding Matic at 1.5 and Engine Coin at 9.95. Interesting stuff there. Potentially, bro. I'll get to that in a sec. But let me finish off with BNB, Binance Coin here. As you can see here, we have this downward sloping resistance line. So if we are going to see the price actually progress to the upside here, which is what I was just saying, if we do have the potential to come up and even challenge this 21 moving average here on the hourly, we do need to think about the resistance that we could potentially be finding off this. Granted, it's less valid the lower it gets, because that means we get to that oversold sort of point, and then obviously we have that buying power up coming from there. So yeah, ideal scenario would be to find enough momentum to get above it, find a level of support like so, and basically ride along it, right? Ride along it and see that progression in the price action if we are going to see BNB come any higher than that. But yeah, in terms of targets to the upside, as I said, it would correlate to that 363 zone for the short term there. So definitely something to think about there. Mr. Balogun there, sir. What is next on the chart here? Smegmars, I'm afraid I don't know the thing for that. I mean, I think it's not even on anything, right? So yeah, not gonna do that for you, sir or ma'am. Yeah, it's Lindsay. Not gonna do that for you, sorry, Lindsay. Have you gone Cloud9? No, I'm back, sir. I'm back. Let's see the loads of hammy raids there. RLC there for Mac. RSC. Let's do RSC there for Mac. RLC. And guys, if you like the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. Obviously, new YouTuber on the block here. RSC, let's jump to the daily. Let's jump to the daily right now. I mean, it's pretty parabolic at that point there, pretty parabolic towards the end of May, and that's obviously why you're seeing this insane correction coming through here. But it is not looking great indeed, sir. Just first glances, obviously you have invalidated this higher low, you have invalidated this higher low, so it is looking like the next test, the downside would be this $3.06 zone, right? And that obviously correlates pretty much well with this 200 moving average coming through as hill. I heard you laughed at Smegmars. Yes, I did, sir. Yes, I did. I don't know anything about it, right? I guess it's quite a new thing because it's not really on anything, right? So, yeah, I think it might be on PancakeSwap or something. But yeah, it might be something that I need to research into. But Smegmars just sounds like a bit of a joke coin in my opinion. So yeah, not something I'd like to get involved with. But yeah, back to RLC here. We will be looking at a potential bounce point from this 200 and this horizontal level of support, that $3.06 there. So they correlate perfectly. And as I said, we have invalidated these higher low points coming through here, and we're continuously setting these lower highs, which means you're seeing that continuation to the downside. I would not be surprised at all if you're coming down here pretty imminently indeed. Obviously, we are on the daily chart, so it is going to take a while. It's going to take a while, but I would say we'll be inclined on the long term here. I would be inclined to say that we would be coming down here. Great stream, Chester. Thank you very much, Superman. Thank you very much, sir. Means a lot, bro. Obviously, I haven't been doing it like 3 weeks, so yeah. Nice to get a little compliment. Very, very nice indeed. In terms of the short term right now, for the 4 hourly or the midterm that we can see, it's pretty much the same as the daily, right? Obviously, we do have this insane trend coming down here from the top side, which we're doing to take into account in terms of if we are going to see that break to the upside, right? Because obviously we're going to see heavy resistance coming through here. But yeah, in terms of getting through that, I'd say the short-term target right now would be to even find a nice level of support on this zone coming through here on this horizontal support point at that $4.32, right? That would be the next target. I mean, ideally right now, you don't want to be coming down, and you want to be setting I'm going to be setting a high low in terms of the nice live price action coming through here. God, the chat's going crazy in terms of the live price action coming through here. You want to be setting that high low point coming through here, and obviously you have just invalidated this this lower high, so that's basically a sign that you could be seeing that reversal in the trend here. But yeah, next target, as I said, would be this horizontal correlating with this lower high point of the previous candle here. And yes, if you do find support on that point, it's going to look good. It's going to look good because you can see the progression to the upside from that zone there. You can see the progression to the upside. So if you do find a nice thing of support here, you might have enough. You might have enough momentum to the upside to come up and actually debate the challenge. You can flirt with the idea of challenging these zones coming through here in terms of these major moving averages coming down here, and also that obviously humongous downward sloping resistance line, which you've been in for quite a while indeed. You've been doing it for 3 weeks for more than a month now. Doing it for 3 weeks for more than a month. Don't know if that makes sense. Might just be me being dumb, but can we touch the all-time high of 2017? Are you on about Bitcoin, sir? Oh, BTC. Right, yeah. All-time high of 2017. Let me get to that shortly. Let me just have a little look on. We've done this RSC, right? Yeah, done RLC there. What was next on the list there, sir? And then I'll do a summary on Bitcoin for you guys there. Because I know a lot of you guys are asking for it. I'll do short-term, mid-term, and the long-term. The daily, the weekly, and the monthly there for you guys. SEA coin, huge potential. SE. Yeah, I did actually. I had a look at this before, right? Yeah, I did have a little look at this before, and it didn't look so bad. But then the price action didn't. It kind of put me off, right? Kind of put me off. But yeah, I don't really know about the main fundamentals. But if you know some stuff, let me know. I will actually write that down, and I'll have a look at that. In terms of a bit of research for myself, guys. It's a bit of research for myself, because it's always good to learn. It's always good to learn shit. Simple as that. In terms of what's happening now with SEA coin, I would say it's not looking great because you have invalidated this high low point coming through here. And I would say the next test point, if you are going to see that progression to the downside, would be this candle body close of this previous low at around that 1 cent, 1 cent 3 there. So yeah, very, very cheap indeed in terms of a cheap coin coming through here. But yeah, you have actually bounced off this this high low point. Actually, my mistake there, guys. You have actually bounced off the point. You're potentially finding a nice little level of support. So yeah, it's not looking so bad. I would be inclined to say if you are going to come up to the top side, your next test zone would be around this point coming through here, around that $1 cent and 68 there. That would be the next test zone. As you can see, you found resistance off that point before. But if you find a level of support, you could be looking at a little bit of progression to the upside from there. But yeah, I would be inclined to say that you are going to find at least some resistance as it has played out in previous history here. In terms of what's happening, in terms of live candle action, let's jump to the hourly right now. We are seeing we're seeing, I mean, we did see this high low point get set here, but then we have seen it get invalidated by that candle 2 hours ago. But yeah, in terms of that, after that, we have seen that progression to the upside, which isn't so bad at all, right? Which isn't so bad at all. In terms of what's happening right now, in terms of a target point, it would be this lower high point in terms of this this giant dump to the downside here. So I would be looking at that as in a sense a bounce point to the upside, right? But yeah, if we do find resistance from this zone, you are looking to bounce down, right? You are looking to bounce down. But yeah, if you find a nice level of support, the next target would be this 21 coming down, and also this horizontal at that 1 cent and 6.8. Yeah, so a few things to think about there, guys. In terms of Coin, absolute low point. If you are going to see that reverse in the trend, you would be looking at finding a level of support on this 1 cent 54, and below that you do have the volume weighted ATR band. In terms of a safety net, which you which you're going to need. You're going to need, because the next low point is sat around here in terms of candle body close at that 1 cent and 38 there, guys. So yeah, a few things to think about there. Let me just a wee suggestion: put some honey in your water. It rocks. Very nice advice there from Kane, soon to be mod. Yes, I'm definitely going to need that, because my throat is burning. First it's the wisdom teeth, now it's the throat, because get them likes in, thick boys, says Bitcoin Peace. Shout out to the broski out there. Shout out to the broski. Yeah, he's the absolute G, right? He's the absolute G. So yeah, guys, if you haven't checked him out, I know quite a few of you are from his channel, right? But if you haven't checked him out, and if you have actually found me on your own, then go check his channel out, because he's got all the good stuff going through there in terms of trading. The juicy, thick boy. Juiciest thick boy I know. Let me have a look. Matic there. Let's do Matic there for Avishek there. Matic, baby. Let me have a little look here. As you can see here, we do have this falling wedge coming through here. As discussed earlier on the stream, I did do Matic, but let me do it again for you, sir. Got to keep everyone happy, right? Got to keep everyone happy. And as you can see here, we do have a falling wedge coming through here. And look, if we're looking at the momentum to switch to the upside, because at this point in time we are just setting these lower high points coming through here, but we have invalidated this one, which isn't so bad. But we did see that colossal dump to the downside from there, setting that lower low in terms of the current trend that we've got coming down here, right? So yeah, I would be inclined to say that we are looking at potential pump to the upside, because we're near enough oversold here on the RSI, and that's an indication that we are going to see the momentum change to the upside here. And if we do see that, we're going to see pretty resistance point coming off this 200 moving average, right? We are going to see a resistance point coming off this 200 moving average. So I would say short-term target would be to get over that at that $1.49. And as you were saying there in the chat, you're holding from $1.50. Oof, $1.50. I mean, that's not so bad, bro. That's not so bad. It's actually just above the 200. So yeah, if we find a nice level of support on that 200, you'll be back to near enough break-even point, and then you can look at targets to the upside from there. But yeah, I would expect some heavy levels of resistance on these points here, because as you can see, it is a pretty dominant horizontal coming through here in terms of consolidation sort of period. But with that being said, sir, with that being said, if we do get over that point, and find a level of support, you can see the momentum in previous history to the upside from these zones, right? You can see that there's just so much momentum to the upside. It's looking good indeed. So if you do get a nice few candle closes, maybe a nice little consolidation period along this zone here, then you're going to see potential huge gains to the upside, right? Smashing through all these major levels of resistance here in terms of this downward sloping resistance line on the top side of this falling wedge. And that basically means we could be looking at a little long position, right? A little long position coming through in terms of a measure move coming up, right? That it would be looking along the lines of this. Let me jump to this. Obviously, we're going on the speculation that we're going to go up like this. Obviously, we could go like this, we could go like that, right? But yeah, we're going on the speculation we are going to come up like this. So yeah, let's and obviously depending on where we're going to break along this falling wedge to the top side here, we would be looking at a measure move looking along the lines of this, and that does near enough correlate with this horizontal resistance point coming through here. We do have a few candle body closes there. We can move it to that, and obviously we do have a lot of wicks coming through here, right? So it does actually correlate pretty well with that horizontal resistance point coming through there. So yeah, in terms of a percent for that trade, we're looking at near enough 11.34%. Obviously, we do need to manage that accordingly, and for that to happen, we do need to find potential level of support on this downward sloping currently resistance line on the RSI. So yeah, a few things to think about there with Matic. In terms of a short-term target, I would be looking at this 200, as I was just saying there, at that $1.48, and I wouldn't be too upset, sir. But with that being said, right, we have just, in a sense, invalidated loads of higher low points that we had coming up here. So yeah, I would be inclined to say that we are going to potentially consolidate around this zone, around the bottom side of this falling wedge. let's go on the basis that we are going to lose the falling wedge, right? Let's go on the basis we are going to lose the falling wedge. Obviously, that's going to be if we break to the upside. We do need to take into account if we break to the downside, and we would be looking at some sort of measure move like so. We do have the volume weighted ATR band also coming up to say hello. The Shrek band coming up to say hello. I've never called it that before, but I might start calling it that. Coming up to say hello, and that obviously acts as a very pretty big juicy level of support coming through there. So yeah, potentially a correlation zone if we do see that measure move get completion to the downside, but we do need to wait for that break. Wait for the break. Take a Kit Kat. Have a Kit Kat. Take a break. We do have that measure move coming down in terms of a short position trade there, and that could be looking at around that 21%. As I was discussing earlier, right? As I was discussing earlier, I think it was the 12-hour. We had the insane crypto crash, right? When we saw the previous all-time highs there for Matic. But in terms of the recovery, we were all pretty goddamn stunned. We were pretty goddamn stunned in terms of the recovery for Matic, and this is why I'm not surprised we've had this sort of this downtrend, this consolidation period that we had coming through here, right? The consolidation sidewaysness that we had coming through here after this insane, I think it was a 211% pump. Let me write that out, right? Yeah, wow, 230% pump there. So yeah, just crazy stuff happening for Matic there, and that's why we're having this basic consolidation sort of period. We need it. Otherwise, it's not going to be healthy, and we're just going to go insanely parabolic, and then we're going to absolutely crash off an absolute cliff from there, right? Something along the lines of that, right? And we don't want that. We don't want that. It's not a healthy chart. This is, in a sense, a healthy chart as long as we start invalidating these lower highs and see that progression to the upside. If not, as I said, target point would be this measure move to the downside, and we do have this 200 coming through here on the 12-hourly. That's pretty much Matic done there. Hope I've summed that up for you there, sir, a bit. And INJ is the next one there. INJ coming through here, and then I'm going to jump to BTC because I know you guys out there want the BTC. What is actually happening with BTC quickly? Yeah, we actually have we've lost this volume weighted ATR band coming through. Not very good stuff indeed. I can see that progression happening to the downside. But yeah, next target point to the downside would be these previous candle body close lows. These low candle body closes at that 32,586. So I would be looking at potential bounce point from there. But yeah, if we don't find support and we see the colossal dumpish to the downside there, we see the plummet, we see the mega moves to the downside there, we would be looking at a level of support sat at around that 32,238. That would be the next point, right, to think about, right? Yeah, let me jump back to INJ for, who was that for? INJ for Avishek there. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. Obviously, I've only been going like, it's gonna be 4 weeks on Friday, right? So yeah, and I hit the 300 subscribers yesterday, which is absolutely crazy stuff for me, guys. Really means a lot in terms of all the support I'm having out there. Really means a lot, right? Really means a lot. But yeah, anyway, INJ, and guys, I do this every single morning, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours. So yeah, if you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads. It's as simple as that. Yeah, on the daily chart coming through here, we do have pretty dominant horizontal level of support coming through here at around that $7.74 here for INJ coin. In terms of a dominant level of support, resistance coming through here, it is looking pretty descending triangle like coming through here. As you can see here, descending triangle, very juicy indeed. It's not looking that unhealthy, right? It's not looking that unhealthy. We're seeing touches continuously to the bottom side, continuously more or less to the top side here. So yeah, it's not looking bad, not looking so bad in terms of a chart pattern that hopefully we're going to play out on the daily here. But if we are going to play out on the daily, it is going to be a pretty big trend. That was wrong. Pretty big trend coming through. So that's definitely something to consider when trading this on the daily, right? But yeah, I would be waiting for a break to the downside, and that does pretty much correlate in terms of a measure move looking like so. I think that does, no, not quite correlating with that that lower low point coming through here. But yeah, if we were to see that, we would be correlating with this correlation. Yeah, this consolidation zone coming through here. Nearly made a mess up there. Nearly swore on the stream there. Crazy stuff happening here. Yeah, I would be looking at a take profit at this wick, of course, because obviously we do see that upwards momentum from that support point coming through there, right? Let me have a little look. In terms of a short-term target, right? Let's jump to the 4-hourly for you there, sir. As you can see here, we have seen this momentum come to the downside. We are currently testing this this high-low point. If we do lose that, I would be inclined to say that we are going to come down to that $6.34 zone. So yeah, crucial point to watch would be this zone here. This zone here before we see that progression to the upside. And then once we see that progression to the upside, we do have the 21 coming down and the price action and the 55. So yeah, consolidation zone potentially likely to happen here. Potentially a small chart pattern potentially playing out descending triangle, sort of something along the lines of this, and then potentially seeing a measure move to the upside. If you do see it to the downside, we're inclined to see the $6.37, as I said there. I think someone's itching for Bitcoin here, so I will jump to Bitcoin 300. Well done, bro. Onwards and upwards. Can we touch all-time high of 2017? HB method, Elliott wave predictions, bottoms, subs around 20. Potentially, sir. Let me just complete a few more of the requests there, and then we'll go from there. Kidney man is not a happy man. Kidney man is not a happy man. Interesting stuff there, bro. Back on the stream again. The kidney man is back, right? Just gonna have some water. Right, let me have a little look at Bitcoin. Let me do a summary on Bitcoin, the short term, the long term, and the midterm here for you there. As you can see here, we have got obviously this pretty dominant point around this 32,500 zone in terms of finding a level of support coming through here. Thanks for your analyst and Matic ING, sir. You'll have 1 million subscribers soon. Don't think so, sir. Very new, but yeah, I'll get there. 32,586 there. That's going to be a crucial level to hold, right? That's going to be an absolute crucial level to hold. So it's definitely something that we need to take into account there. In terms of what's happening on the RSI, we are pretty overextended, right? We're pretty overextended here, so it's not looking great. It's not looking great in terms of being overextended here, because in terms of the sell power, we do need to see that buyback, right? We do need to see that buyback power to get to that central point to even see any sort of momentum to the upside. But as I was saying a second ago there, we are actually invalidating these high-low points coming through here. So it's not looking so great, right? It's not looking so great in terms of what's happening, in terms of falling down. But yeah, we did see that completion of that measure move coming through here from this falling wedge coming through here. So yeah, let me jump to the midterm coming through, and then we'll see. Put some honey and lemon and juice to stop that hairline receding further. Thanks, bro. It is going. It sucks. I know. As you can see here, we do have this falling price channel coming through here. So we do need to take into account a low point coming around here. A low point coming down here with obviously coming through with this volume weighted ATR band coming through here as well, around that 29,000 zone. But yeah, as in terms of crucial levels of support coming through here on the midterm for Bitcoin, it would be to hold this zone, would be to hold this $33,000 zone coming through here. So yeah, I would be inclined to say if we do lose that, then we are going to see that progression to the downside from there. But yeah, ideally we see a level of support and see that progression. But as you can see here, as I was just saying, we have invalidated this high low point, so we are inclined to basically see that progression come to the downside. And as you can see, we do have these these lower high points coming through as well, continuously being set. No invalidation to the top side in terms of progression there, so it's not looking that great. I think he will forget us. I'll never forget you, kidney man. But yeah, not so great indeed. Not so great indeed. For Bitcoin right now, and I would be seeing a low point at this 29,000 sort of zone coming through here. In terms of the long term right now for Bitcoin, this is the monthly, right? Let's jump to the daily. Let's do a bit on the daily right now. As I was discussing here earlier, we do have this pretty ugly descending triangle coming through here. As you can see here, something along the lines of that. Obviously, we're a little long-winded away from that, and we have broke really early doors before even seeing that chart pattern sort of play out, right? I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, it's not the best thing in the world, but I would be inclined to say if we are to lose that zone on the midterm here, I would be looking at a progression to the downside, correlating with these sort of these horizontal points coming down here at that 31,151 before we see that progression to the downside of this low point coming down here. And also the 30,000 hitting the volume weighted ATR band coming through here as well at that 30,000 zone. Speak to yourself, sorry, I'm quite memorable. Bit of beef in the chart there, but yeah, let me jump back to the previous bull market on this Binance chart coming through here. It's bull market barrier as discussed before. If it's blue, we're in a bull market. If it's red here, we are in a bear market, right? But learn and get rich with him. That's the plan. And guys, I'm still learning. Like, I've only been trading like a year and a half here, so you can always learn new stuff, right? You can always continuously learn new stuff. So yeah, as you can see here, this we did actually lose the bull market barrier. Last time we were setting up a previous all-time high at that 19,464 there. And we did see this uncertainty get created here. And we saw that dump to the downside, setting that low point of 5,971. Now, if we look at the percentages here for recovery in terms of this trap coming through here, 98% near enough in terms of recovery of the price, right? Let's jump back to the live price, right? Let's jump back to the live price right now and see what's going on here, because obviously we have dumped down, we have lost the bull market barrier. Let me get rid of the WOD here. We have lost the bull market barrier coming through here. And we're seeing that progression come to the downside, sitting around that $30,000 zone there. And yes, if we are going to see that progression come to the upside around that 98%, as I was just saying there, we are going to reclaim the bull market barrier, right? And it could be a huge trap if we are to see that progression to the upside. Luckily, we're not seeing that right now. We're literally just seeing, well, not luckily, we're not seeing that right now, but luckily we're seeing quite a few chart patterns play out, and a lot of people are getting their shorts and making some good money, right? But ideally, right now, we want to see a reversal in the price. We want to see a rejection coming up through here and see that progression to the upside. But what I'm really saying is here, you need to be cautious, right? Because in previous chart history in terms of the bull market, right? In terms of previous chart history, I would be inclined to say we would be looking at some swift rejections, some swift traps, basically playing out, coming through, right? So yeah, definitely a few things to consider there, guys. So for an hour and a half here, guys, I'm going to go probably another 10 minutes, and then I'm probably going to call it. But yeah, guys, get your requests in the chat there, and I'll jump onto them ASAP Rocky as soon as possible, right? But yeah, in terms of what we're looking for in terms of the long term right now, for the daily, it would be the continuation of this chart pattern. For me, personally, I missed the short. I was driving, which sucks. Yeah, I was driving back from a gender reveal. Yeah, gender reveal. I was driving back from a gender reveal party. I missed the short, very annoying, but I did make a nice little 8% on ADA there as well. So yeah, that was a very, very nice juicy trade there. But yeah, in terms of looking for this continuation of the downside, bounce points would be that 30,000 as just stated there, and the 31,150. Do my emojis show up in the chat? Yes, they do, sir. Your emojis do show up in the chat. Let me jump to Ethereum quickly. Jump to Ethereum. Let's see what's going on with Ethereum here. As I was just saying here, I was be looking. Nice to see you here, Mickey. I was just saying earlier, I was actually looking for this short a couple of days ago, right? I was actually looking for this short, but on this retest, of course. But then obviously we saw the momentum change to the upside, and I was like, oh no, yeah, missed that short position there. And then obviously this all happened in terms of that massive dump to the downside, right? And guys, get your requests in the chat if you've got any more requests there. And guys, I do this every single morning, Monday to Friday. So if you want to see more of my content, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads. It's as simple as that. And also, I do uploads on Twitter. I do updates on Twitter as well. So yeah, I do updates on Twitter. So yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you're basically going to be first to the stream, because obviously YouTube is a bit slow in terms of notifications, as a lot of us probably know. You get a notification for one of the uploads like 3 hours later, right? Not very good at all, right? So yeah, in terms of what's happening here for Ethereum, we did actually see that progression to the downside. Not so bad at all, right? What do you think of ZIL? Let me jump onto that in a sec, bro, and do a little TA for you there. Yeah, so as you can see here, we did see this progression to the downside. In terms of percent for this dump right here, we did see a 13% dump for Ethereum. I would be inclined to say that we are going to have that continuation down, but the next target point would be this higher low point coming through here, and that's sat at around that 2,299 point. Let's have a look at the RSI and see what's going on here. Obviously, we do have this downward slope and resistance line coming through. So we do need to take into account that point coming through here. If we do see a pump to the upside, we're going to see some sort of resistance playing out here, right? We're going to see some sort of resistance playing out here. And that's basically, question, why do you speak so fast? Ah, damn, I'm trying to slow it down. I'm trying to slow it down. You should have seen me like, what, maybe like 2 weeks ago. I was like, and Ethereum's coming outside. We might be seeing this horizontal resistance point acting as support there, coming down. I was literally going crazy. But yeah, so people like slow down. So I'm trying to slow it down. But yeah, so as you can see here, this downward slope and resistance line sat on the RSI. We do need to take that into account for Ethereum here if we are going to see that progression to the upside. If we do see that, we are going to see potential tests of the 55 moving average, the 21, and the price action channel, which at this point in time, pretty coiled up indeed, I must say. So yeah, one to watch is Ethereum, as we are setting these high low points in terms of the most current trend right now. We're not actually breaking them, so it's not looking so bad. It's not looking so bad, but I would be inclined to say a target point would be to get over this 2,559 zone there. Now, right now, ZIL for NX there. ZIL for NX. Interesting stuff here. Is it new? Are we on a new one? No, not so new. No, not at all. It's been around for a while. It's been around for a while, right? So yeah, as you can see here, we did see obviously this insane dump coming through, but in terms of holding these high low points, it's not looking so bad at all, right? It's not looking so bad at all because if we were to invalidate these points coming through here, then we're looking at that progression to the downside. Probably not looking like that. Probably looking along the lines of that. Obviously, we do have these horizontal support points coming through here. So yeah, in terms of what's happening right now, it's not looking so bad. Obviously, with Bitcoin, it's obviously dumped the price coming through here on the daily chart here. So I would be inclined to say the next point that we would be looking at testing if we were to have that continuation to the downside would be around this 9 cents 94 zone, just because if we do get to that, it is going to be testing this higher low point here, which we are likely to see a bounce from, right? We are likely to see a bounce from, which which is good, right? Obviously, you can see the upwards momentum from this zone coming through here. So yeah, a few things to think about if we do see a target point coming down to that point there. Let me jump to the 1 hour and see what's going on here in terms of the most current trend. We are still setting this lower low point, right? This lower low point actually it's fizzled out, right? We were setting these lower highs continuously coming down here, but this lower low point that we had basically passing through here, we broke it on the most recent downtrend that we had coming through, and unfortunately we have just lost the volume weighted ATR band, right? We have just lost the volume weighted ATR band, which sucks, because we are looking at that continuation to the downside. Didn't quite get to this lower high point, sat at around that 11 cents there. If we were to come up, see some sort of support point being formed there, that's going to be basically ideal, and we would see that progression to the upside from there. But at this point in time, we're literally falling. We're falling. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to come down and test this previous candle body close here around this zone, around that $10 in terms of a short-term target to the downside. Obviously, this is a new downtrend forming. If you do get an hourly candle close setting a lower high in terms of this new trend, I would be inclined to say that you are going to come down to this 10 cents and 51 zone coming through there. Chat is going crazy. You don't speak fast. They hear just slow. Nice to know, Jeff. You don't have to panter to slow people. I'll probably have a regular here. I'll probably be a regular here. This is exactly what I've been searching for. Fascinating. Johnny English. Pribby. Yep, sweet, bro. Sounds good. Appreciate the comment, bro. Compliment, sorry. Sounds good to have you on the stream every single day, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours, around that sort of night. Sometimes I do 3 hours if I'm feeling good, but obviously ever since I started this, it's gonna be 4 weeks on Friday. My wisdom teeth have come through. I got a really sore throat, but yeah, I'm not gonna do a stream for you guys Monday to Friday. So yeah, keep your eyes up from that. Woosley, Manchester. Out in Manny in it. Yeah, I do like Manchester, bro. Cool place. Yeah, what's next? Any chance you could check out Beth? I have a girlfriend, thank you. Yeah, I'll check out Beth for you, bro. I mean, it is to an Ethereum pairing. We could do it to we could do it to this there. I don't really know a lot about this, but Beacon Ethereum, interesting stuff. Let me jump to the 12-hour for you there, sir. Not bad, not too shabby. In terms of this downwards crash that we had coming through here, we have actually seen these high-low points get created continuously, which is good. It's good. Worst case scenario is you you invalidate the lower high that you're currently testing in terms of that smaller trend you come through in terms of that correction of this big candle, this pretty megalithic, mega weighty candle coming here. We were looking at the moon there, but we didn't. We saw that correction coming through here. So yeah, in terms of the downwards point, if I would be looking at a short-term target, if you were going to come down, it would be to lose this 200 moving average, sat at around that 2,295. And by the looks of it, it is kind of probably mirrored on Ethereum, right? So yeah, I would be inclined to say if Ethereum's doing some mad stuff, then this is obviously going to do some mad stuff as well, right? Scotsman living in Brighton. I spent like 4 weeks in Scotland. Scotland's a really nice place, bro. Really seriously underrated. I think when global warming really takes effect, Scotland is going to be like insanely nice, right? Insanely nice. Yeah, in terms of a short-term target, it would be to the downside. It would be to lose this this 200 moving average here. Getting quite tired now, guys, and that would be sat around that 2,126. If we can get a progression remove to the upside from there, now I would be inclined to say we are going to come up and test these sort of these moving averages coming through here, but with the idea of some sort of a resistance point coming through here. As you can see, that test coming through here, and we've got a lot of wicks coming down, right? A lot of wicks coming down. So a few things to take into account in terms of a short-term target for what's going on right now. But yeah, it's not looking so bad because you have invalidated these lower high points coming through here. Not quite this one. You did actually come up and test this one coming through here with this candle coming through here, right? So yeah, you did actually invalidated this one. So it's a start. It's a start in terms of progression remove to the upside. But yeah, you did actually tumble, right? You tumbled on this obviously because of Bitcoin. So ideal scenario is you find a nice level of support on the 12-hourly here, and you see that progression to the upside, challenging these major moving averages, right? That's the idea. That's the ideal scenario. Let's jump to the 4-hour, see what's happening here for you, sir. Yeah, same sort of scenario, same sort of thing going on. Invalidating these lower highs is key here. Which you have done here, which is great, which actually means you're going to see that progression to the upside, as you've seen here, which is nice. But obviously this dump obviously did come through pretty strong, and did actually put you down. Kidney got to go. Kidney got to go. See you later, kidney man. See you later, kidney man. Good to have you on the stream, bro. But yeah, in terms of a target to the short term right now, as I was just saying, this 2,405. Yo, Chester, hope you're good. You too, Cloud9. Nice to have you back on the stream, bro. Appreciate all the support. And I hit 300 subscribers, guys. So thank you so much. And all that stuff going on there. Very, very appreciate all your support. So smash that like button if you like the stream, guys. Turn that thumbs up blue. Currently sat on 36 likes. Can we get it to 40? Potentially, maybe, hopefully. Would appreciate if we could. That'd be very, very nice. Obviously, if you're liking the stream, guys, muchly appreciated, right? In terms of Beacon right now, I would be inclined to say that we are hopefully going to find a level of support coming through here, seeing that reversal in the trend. Obviously, that is on predication that we do see a nice 4-hourly candle close and not set a lower point here in terms of this downtrend coming through here. So yes, we do have a little bit of a fizzle out here in terms of setting this low point coming through here. But we have seen a nice candle open rise right above here, invalidating this lower high point. So ideally for the next 4 hours, I would, whereabouts in Scotland? I was near Inverness, in a little place called Ullapool, bro. Really, really nice place there. But yeah, so I would be inclined to say if we do see a lower low point get set in terms of this trend coming down here, then yeah, I would be inclined to say we're going to come down lower. But at this point in time, it's not looking so bad. We are testing this zone, but yeah, small term target would be that 2,405 zone. Chuck to like. Thank you, bro. Did I hit 40? Ah, thank you so much, guys. Muchly appreciated. Really, really, really appreciated. I'm still learning the basics. Some of this is going way over my head. I mean, to be honest with you, bro, a lot of this, what I'm doing is pretty. I'm not saying it's really basic TA, but if you're looking for some free indicators, I can do a little brief explanation for you there. So if you want some free indicators, obviously you need to be using TradingView. Obviously, I'm not paid to advertise TradingView. I just want to do it to help you guys out. Indicator wise, RSI, that's a main one here. So you just go into the indicator thing at the top and type in RSI, relative strength index. That basically means the buying power to the top side, to the bottom side. If you get to that overbought point, you're going to see a reversal in the price naturally. But if you see an oversold point here, you're going to see that reversal to the upside naturally. So it's a great indication of where, in a sense, you can take profit, or where you can judge just basically entering positions and that sort of thing right there. And also the MACD here, very good indicator. It basically helps you out with trends. So it basically shows you how strong the trend is when the trend is fizzling out. In terms of the uptrend, that's the green, and the downtrend, which is the red. I'm not going to go into trend cycles there yet, but yeah, just two basic free indicators for you to look at there, sir. And then obviously you've got the horizontal resistance points, which obviously you can see here. We do find pretty dominant resistance to the downside of these candles, and vice versa in terms of support points. In terms of horizontal supports, we would be looking at something. You see this one here, that 2,126. That's a pretty dominant level of support. As you can see, we found support and we progressed to the upside from there. So yeah, once you basically draw them in, you find where you find support, where it correlates, and then you can draw them in yourself, right? There is an automatic indicator for it. And that is called the Auto S/R by GetMotion. So yeah, it's pretty good indeed. In terms of doing it all for you, automated service in a sense, right? So yeah, a few indicators there for you to pick up for yourself if you are a new trader. But yeah, I'd master those ones first before progressing on to anything further. And then you can get into the really, really sticky stuff going through here, right? So yeah, cool stuff going on there. And I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Johnny English, sir, with your trading. And I do like to keep it pretty around these indicators for the beginners here, because I like helping people out, right? I like helping people out, and then I want to bring people up in terms of trading ability with everyone together in terms of community, right? But yeah, this guy looks like a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is financial advice. Seems legit. No, don't sue me. Do not take any trades that I say, right? Simple as that. Track to like, you hit 40. Very, very nice. 41 likes. Amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. We are nearly at that. I'm gonna go to that 2 hour mark. To the 2 hour mark. Let's go. Any requests, guys? Smash them in the chat there. I might have missed some requests. Let me scroll up. Let me have a little look here. Any requests, guys? Smash them in the chat. Smash them in the chat now. And should we do a little poll? What do you guys think in terms of what's Bitcoin going to do? Do you think Bitcoin is going to hold this level of support, which we're currently testing at this 32,754 mark? Or do you think we're going to dump to the downside and come down and set a lower low point and test this 28, 29 sort of zone, right? To put a 1 in the chat if you're looking at holding the support. Put a 2 if you think we're going to dump. 1 pump, 2 dump. Simple as that. Let's see what you guys are thinking out there. Let me do a request for Nada there on ATRI. Not looking good, bro. Not looking good. Can't really see it. ATRI. ART. RTI. RTI. Not looking good, man. Not looking good. Got a 1 in the chat from 7. Thoughts on ATRI? No shoe. Did you look at the oscillator Binance? No, sir. NX looks like it's going to dump. Antonio's on the 2. He thinks it's going to dump. Interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff in terms of the public vote coming through here. Right? In terms of the public vote coming through here. 2 as well. So dump is on the cards. For me, personally, I do think we've got a bit of a dump coming through. And what's happened to this chart? It's a daily chart coming through. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, it's because I'm zoomed out quite a lot. But yeah, guys, any other... right, ATR2 token. Let me have a look. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying dump here. A lot of people are saying dump. Very interesting stuff. ATARI. It's not on TradingView, bro. Tom says it's going to dump. Jedi Mike thinks it's going to dump. Bit of Star Wars impression there in terms for lightsaber. I suppose is this the right one? Yeah, I think it might be. It looks pretty new. It's pretty goddamn new. Whoa, this is a bit crazy. A bit crazy, sir. Yeah, I mean, it's going up. I mean, it's going up. You're in a nice uptrend, I guess. So, if we are doing this to Ethereum, or wrapped Ethereum, yeah, it must be pretty new. Indeed. Oh no, it's not so new. It's this year. No, just the end of last year, right? So yeah, I mean, it's not so bad. You are looking at the progression to the upside. If I am on the right chart here, but yeah, it's I must say it's healthy, right? It's healthy. This is consolidation correctionary period. As long as you're not invalidating some serious, higher lows, continuously down, having that continuation down, and not basically starting this downtrend into fruition like so, then it's looking like you're probably going to see that reversal pretty soon. Finding level of support on this horizontal, set at around that 19,580 sort of zone there. Eyesight MACD support lines, got it. Cheers. Not a problem at all, Johnny English. I wish you the best of luck, sir, as it says on the ending stream of my screen, right? 05 LX Sports says 1. He thinks it's going to go up. Interesting. Against the crowd there, sir. I think too many people are expecting it to. So I think the opposite. So yeah, it will look like it will dump. Yeah, it does look like it will dump. I do think, yeah, it crashed out to Tether yesterday before the big girthy dump, waiting to buy back in, I guess. Yeah, it has been pretty dumpy in terms of Bitcoin, right? I'm pretty annoyed I missed that trade. Always fun looking for dirty coins. Dirty coins, something like that, right? But yeah, so in terms of this, it doesn't look bad, right? I would be seeing the progression to the upside. Next target for you to be looking for would be invalidating this lower high point coming down here off this previous all-time high, I do believe. Oh, maybe. Yeah, previous all-time high. So yeah, I would be inclined to say this would be the next sort of target for you, and that would be that 23,673 there. And Johnny English thinks it's going to dump as well. Johnny English, very, very... Cool name, bro. Is that your actual name, or is it just from the film, right? Let me have a look here. Any requests, guys? Get them in the chat. If not, I'm going to do some of my own stuff. XRP. Let's jump to XRP, see what's going on here. In terms of XRP, crucial point right now would be holding this lower high low point if we do get down to that zone there. Obviously we did lose this point here, which kind of sucks, right? We did lose this kind of point here, so we were looking for that progression for XRP. Annoyingly, we have seen these lower high points just get created continuously, which does suck, right? It does suck because that does mean we are going to have that progression to the downside, and we haven't validated this lower high point coming through here. Yeah, this high low point coming through here. So yeah, next target to the downside, if we are going to progress to the downside from here, would be a bounce point off that 80 cent. I mean, that's insanely cheap for XRP, right? I'm very bullish on XRP in terms of the long run, in terms of the fundamental side of things. They do international transfers with a lot of the major banks, right? A lot of the major banks. So I think in terms of, they do have a lawsuit currently going at the moment with the SEC. So as soon as that's out of the water, I don't think it's going to pump straight away, because I think a lot of people think it will pump straight away, and that's why I think there'll be a bit of a sell-off. But after that, once that's cleared, once the air's settled from that lawsuit, I would be looking at an accumulation phase there for XRP in terms of the long term. But yeah, in terms of the target to the downside right now would be that 80 cent. If you are going to progress to the upside, it would be a target of that 89 cent zone there. Find a nice level of support on that. You would be looking at challenging the 21 at that 92, and that's going to be the next sort of zone there. Hi, bro, says Maury. Nice to see you, bro. Not sure if you're back on the stream. Not sure if I've seen you before, but nice to see you on the stream there, bro. I appreciate all the support out here, guys. Appreciate all the support. Let me jump to ADA for SROS6 there. ADA. bullish on ADA. Yeah, I actually made a juicy trade for ADA. Made a nice little 8% there. As you can see, we do have. Let me explain. As Kevin Hart says. As you can see here, we do have this pretty big ascending triangle to the upside. Pretty big indeed, I must say. We did actually break this to the downside, and this is what I was basically talking about on my stream yesterday morning, right? I said, look, if we break this to the downside, there could be a really good potential long position coming through. Potential short position coming through here. Granted, it would have been nice to get a retest to see that confirmation to get that better entry. But for me personally, we did see that. Usually I do go on the retest, and I have said that a million times, right? But for me, I did see the fundamentals lining up for this trade, right? We did see the resistance playing out on the RSI, on this downward sloping resistance line playing through. I said, yeah, if we're finding resistance on there, that's looking good. We closed literally bang on, near enough below the 200 moving average there, and also we had a little bit of a death cross coming through as well. So that's a few things, and I was like, yeah, time to short. In terms of the measure move, which I actually had completed from that, I think it was around 8%, so probably went on like that there. Yeah, around this zone here, coming down to this horizontal support point around that $1.54 mark there, which we're currently finding heavy resistance off, right? In terms of percent for that, what was going on there, yeah, it was around an 8% trade there. So yeah, not too bad in terms of the short for ADA there. And that obviously did happen. We started dumping before the Bitcoin dump, which is quite interesting stuff there. So yeah, we are actually having a curl over in the trend right now. We have invalidated this lower high point coming through here, but we didn't quite get to this zone coming through here in terms of my real name is John Shore. Cool name. My middle name's John as well. There's loads of Johns in my family, like all the way down, right? It's all Johns. But yeah, crazy. My middle name's John. A video of your top 3 or 5 coins would be cool. Definitely something I'll take into account in next. I do find a lot of people are doing that at the moment. A lot of people are just doing their top 5 coins and all that. I prefer to do like alt gem videos where I go into a bit more depth of the actual coin. But yes, if a few more people are like, yeah, that would be cool, then yeah. I mean, I can give you a little altcoin shopping list quickly if I could just shout them out. Matic, Rune, Luna, Solana, eGold, KSM, AR, Uni, GRT, obviously BTC, Ethereum, DOT, ADA, BNB, and Link. Those are the crucial ones which I'm thinking about for the future, right? So yeah, if you want to rewind that stream back, yeah, rewind it back and write them down if you want. Obviously, nothing I said is financial advice. Do your own research, guys. But yeah, in terms of ADA right now, we're actually seeing it plummet. On the hourly chart here. It's pretty crazy stuff here. For me, obviously, I am very bullish on ADA in terms of the long haul. If you have, I can't bring myself to short ADA. Yeah, I know the feeling, bro. I know the feeling. But if you think, obviously, I think we've spoke before, Kane, about Cardano Africa in the video on YouTube, right? And they made amazing announcements. But we do need to think about how early we are actually to ADA. We're still a long way off because before we actually see a lot of insane progression in terms of the fundamental adoption in terms of Africa itself, right? We need a lot of the governments to actually say it's cool, right? They're just trying it out in Ethiopia at the moment. So yeah, hopefully we can get a good positive result there. But I do think there's going to be a lot of accumulation phases before we see that progression to the upside there. A nice big blue heart from NX there. Love back, bro. Love back. No homo. Theta fuel in a sec for Nada? That sounds good. Nada. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, in terms of ADA right now, in terms of a target, if we are going to progress to the downside, we do have this volume weighted R-man coming through here, and that's sat at around that $1.46. Definitely a zone to think about there. In terms of Cardano, and guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. Obviously, I'm a new YouTuber, need that little extra hand. And how many likes are we currently sat on? Currently sat on 44 likes there. Guys, can we get it to 50? Can we get it to 50 likes? That'd be amazing if we get it to 50, guys. I'd be really appreciated there. And obviously, I do really appreciate all your guys' support there. So let me have a look. I love the BTC waves, dude. BTC waves. Yeah, they're okay, bro. Tradable, I guess. Let me have a look at Theta fuel there for Nada. Theta fuel. Is it T-fuel? Yeah, I looked at this earlier. Insane progression. It's behaving pretty abnormally, right? Pretty abnormally. But guys, what I will say is, look, we have just set a new all-time high, I do believe, as discussed earlier. Let me jump to the daily. Yeah, we have just set a new all-time high here for Theta fuel. So we do need to take into account, right, we're going to see some sort of rejection coming in soon. And we are looking at... I found an old Bitcoin wallet that's drawn me into all this. Oh, well done, sir. If you had Bitcoin in there, you made some good money over the last few years, well, this year. Yeah, as you can see here for Theta Fuel, we're near enough at that parabolic stage on the daily, right? If we do get to around this sort of zone here, around that 70 cent zone, that's going to be insanely parabolic, and we know what that means when we get to that zone. We get swift rejections, pretty swift, pretty big, and obviously this one is performing pretty abnormally compared to a lot of the cryptos out there right now, right? So we are going to see a bit more FOMO into the market. That could push the price higher, but I'm not saying go and get in, because you are likely, in terms of risk, in terms of reward, you're likely to get wrecked. So yeah, for me personally, I would be staying away from this today. But yeah, in terms of what it's actually doing and how it's performing, pretty impressed. Looks pretty good indeed. Yeah, so good on you, Theta Fuel, for holding your own. Good on you guys. Good on you. Let me have a little look. Can't bring myself to short ADA. No, me neither, sir. Well, I did on that chart pattern. If it all comes together, then yeah. Gotta get away from the... If you are trading, like swing trading, you'll get away from the fundamentals in terms of the long-term hodling fundamentals, right? I recently found my Bitcoin wallet. That's what brought me into this. Superman gives me a nice thumbs up. Thank you very much, sir. I presume that's a nice a blue thumbs up in terms of a like. And we hit 45 likes. Still very, very nice indeed, guys. Appreciate all the support. I had a bit of change left over from the transaction I made a few years ago. It was only a few GBP. It's currently worth about 12 grand. Very nice. And that's pounds as well. Juicy stuff there for you, sir. Mr. Johnny English, PhD. Very, very nice. Let me have a look at Theta, actually, because I was looking at Theta in terms of a potential trade, right? In terms of a potential trade, I'm jumping down to the hourly time frame here. As you can see here, we do have this symmetrical triangle. We do have a symmetrical triangle playing out here, and obviously finding a level of support on this 200 moving average here as well, right? So I'm inclined to say, look, there could be a potential short position coming down from the bottom side of this symmetrical triangle. With that being said, looking at Theta Fuel, I wouldn't be inclined to be entering a short trade for Theta right now. Chester, morning, matey. Nice to see you here there, Kong. Mr. King Kong, out here. Big Griller. Yes, sir. Nice to see you, sir. But yeah, as you can see here, this return to the stream. Appreciate it, sir. Very, very nice indeed. And we are trying to get to 50 likes. We got to 46 likes. Come on, guys. Smash that up. That's appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot. Can you turn it blue? Does it turn blue? Interesting concept. Yeah, we do potential short position coming through here, but now seeing Theta Fuel earlier in terms of the progression to the upside we saw on Theta Fuel, I would be inclined to say it's not really a position I'm going to be entering here. One, because I mean, Theta Fuel's pumping, and obviously this is Theta as well. I don't really know the fundamentals about both of them and how they work together, but yeah, I would be taking into account that in terms of entering a short position here. If you were itching and you did really want to go short on Theta, for me personally, it's not very good advice, right? Well, obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but yeah, you would be looking at around a 6% trade there if you were to progress to the downside. Obviously, if Bitcoin dumps, right, this is going to dump with it. Like, it is going to dump with it. Currently, but it is recovering pretty well. It is recovering pretty well, as we are seeing here. So yeah, a few things to consider there. We just hit that 2 hours mark, guys. I might call it. If you guys got any more requests, smash them in the chat, and I will Chester likes to the moon. Thank you, Cloud9. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it massively. But yeah, guys, I will be calling the stream in a minute. I'll be putting out an update later on today in terms of potential crypto that I think could be doing well. I might be doing a BTC update or an Ethereum update, or it depends what happens in the price action, right? We'll see what's going on. But yeah, guys, I release a video every single lunchtime, and I do a stream every single morning. So every single morning, 1 to 2 hours, potentially 3 hours sometimes. Like yesterday, I did 3 hours. So yeah, guys, if you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads. Sometimes, yes, YouTube are a bit dead in terms of notifications. They notify you like a while, like afterwards, like maybe like 5 hours after I've gone live, which kind of sucks. So if you want that instant notification, I would follow my Twitter. I'm not advertising my Twitter. I've only got like 50 followers on there, so I don't really care about the followers on Twitter at all. But yeah, if you guys want the instant update for when I go live, I would recommend following my Twitter, because I do post it on there, and then you're first to the stream, and you can sit there waiting for the 3 minutes before I actually jump on the screen, right? You can watch that fascinating world spin around. Get some refreshments. Appreciate you, man. Not a problem at all. I appreciate you guys massively. Any other requests, guys? Any other requests before I shoot off? Let me have a little look here. I'm pretty hungry, actually. Everyone needs to give the triangles a rest. People are dumping Bitcoin on and off trend lines. Yeah, I do feel that, bro. But one thing I will say about these triangles and chart patterns that have actually been playing out recently, they haven't really been playing out very well, right? Because you can see literally they're just fizzling out to the end. And for me personally, I trade on the smaller measure moves here. I don't go on these big juicy things because, in my opinion, for that crypto, that's pretty goddamn greedy, and you usually get trapped out before you get to that measure move point anyway. So yeah, so like let's just put one example coming through here. Obviously I know it's still a live thing coming through here. So if we were looking for a measure move to the downside looking like that, we're aiming for like 26,000, right? That's just stupid, right? So yeah, I wouldn't be doing my measure moves like that. But yeah, in terms of triangles itself, they are getting fizzled out, and they are not a lot of them are playing out. But yeah, so yeah, not good. I mean, in previous history, like my previous trade history over the last year and a half and stuff, I've used triangles and wedges and stuff quite a lot, and I've made pretty decent fortune in a sense. So yeah, I will always be using them continuously because they're a great gauge in terms of trend lines and stuff like that. But yeah, let's have a look at. I'm not going to be doing stocks, I'm afraid, especially not an AMC short squeeze. but yeah, bro. I wish you luck with the AMC short squeeze that everyone's trying to achieve there. But let me jump to Matic for Cloud9, and then I'll do a brief summary for 7 on BTC. His name is 7, not 7 BTC. Let me jump to Matic. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, right? We are in this falling wedge for Matic, right, coming through here. If we are looking for a potential trade to the upside, let me jump to a bigger time frame, right? If we are looking for a potential trade to the upside, we would be looking at basically crucially finding a level of support on this horizontal resistance point at that $1.53 mark there. If we can get support on that, if we look back in previous history along this support line coming through here, we do have pretty big, mega, giga gains to the top side here that we do need to take into consideration, right? So if we do find a level of support here, that could basically provide us with the ammunition to shoot the AK-47 over the falling wedge top side coming through here, and potentially looking at this trade to the upside here. So if we are looking at that, we could be looking at a nice bit of momentum. And we don't know Matic. We know Matic likes to shoot up randomly and smash targets, right? And so yeah, that would be definitely something to think about in terms of an entry position. It would be around that $1.60 mark. But yeah, crucial we get over these levels of support in terms of the shorter term timeframes here. Granted, we have been going down for a while, right? We have been going down for a while, and that's pretty much due to this insane recovery, which we saw. Obviously, a lot of us have seen Matic before and seen how well it actually performed in terms of the crypto crash here. That insane V-shaped recovery coming through there. So yeah, we did perform really well, and that's going to come with consequences. If we see this parabolic buyingness, we're going to see consequences coming through like that. A bit of fizzle out, a bit of correction in the price before we see another insane leg up, right? So yeah, that's basically all this period is what's happening here. I mean, personally, that's what I thought this consolidation period was here, and then we just dumped off a cliff after that. So yeah, I was pretty shocked that we actually came down after that. I did think we were going to break to the top side, but yeah, no one's ever 100% right with stocks. Not with stocks. With that's what you got me on there, Nader there. Yeah, no one's ever always 100% right, especially with crypto, right? Especially, but yeah, if we're looking for a break to the downside, it's I mean, it's not looking like it is going to really, but we have invalidated these high low points in the previous uptrend, so it is a definite possibility to think about. If we do break to the downside here, we could be looking at a short position coming down to that $1.07. For me, insane buying position there for Matic in terms of an accumulation point. Yeah, bro, I bought Matic at 24p. Amazing, bro. Absolutely amazing. Insane gains for you there, sir. Very, very good indeed. Let me jump down to that 24p for you. Jeez, bro. That's insane. Absolutely insane, bro. Very, very big gains. Should we do a little price range gain for you? 24p there. Jesus. Nearly 500%, bro. Very well done to you, sir. Cloud9 out here. Literally living on Cloud9 with his Matic. Crazy. But yeah, in terms of a downwards target, it would be a short position. There's 21% in terms of a short position there for Matic to think about, right? But yeah, that does. We would be looking at potential take profits along the way, and those take profits would be looking something along the lines of this. As you can see, we do see a nice level of support from this wick here, and obviously resistance point and support point forming through here. So yeah, we would be looking at a nice potential take profit halfway down in terms of this measure move. Because guys, measure moves don't always play out, right? So we do need to take that into account. If we're taking profit along the way, it's always good. We're going to be making that money. We're going to be making that paper. We're going to be making that paper, that cheddar, that red Leicester. Yeah, what's next? Little summary on BTC, and then I'm going to end the stream for you guys. But yeah, thank you ever so much for being here. And let's I'll be hitting you with an update later and see how we go from there. So make sure you subscribe and press the notification bell, and you're never going to miss one of my uploads. Simple as that. Yeah, guys, at this point in time with with what's happening with BTC, we do have this this falling wedge coming through here, and obviously this was a potential really good trade for me personally. I didn't get in. I actually missed it. I was driving back from agenda reveal. Bit annoying, but it is what it is. You can't get every trade, and I made a nice pretty penny on ADA in terms of an 8% gain there, so very, very nice indeed. So yeah, you can't get in every trade, and yeah, I can't really be annoyed about this because one, I made great money on ADA, and two, there's always going to be another trade. There's always going to be another trade, another successful trade anyway. There's always going to be. So you need to take that into account. Don't get annoyed if you do miss a gain. Simple as that. Simple as that. But yeah, in terms of what's happening now, we did actually come down and test the lower side. We flirted with the idea of losing this volume weighted ATR band here, which is very interesting, right? It is very interesting, and we have actually progressed and seen 33,000 get formed. We've seen 33,000 get formed here. Yeah, boy, only put 200 on it. Should have done more. That's the classic thing with crypto. I should have put in more. Simple as that, bro. But yeah, we are seeing nice progression to the upside coming through here in terms of Bitcoin. It's not looking so bad. Currently respecting, obviously we did have a little bit of a shimmy moment coming through here. But yeah, in terms of the wicks here, we're currently respecting a bit of a trend line coming up here. So yeah, definitely something to take into account in terms of a level of support right now. In terms of a short-term target, it would be to get an hourly close above this 10 moving average that we've got coming through here. Because at this point in time, in terms of this downswing, we're pretty unsuccessful in that. If we can get a nice close above that, it's going to be ideal, right? It's going to be ideal. Guys, please be careful from the pump groups on Telegram. They sell when they tell you to buy. They are scammers. Happened to me once, and I'm passing on the message. Yeah, bro, they literally buy all the coins up before, and also they've actually got VIP groups that people pay for to get early access to the coins, and then they basically just buy all the coins, put in a limit order for like 200%. Announce the coin to their group, and then all the newbie guys sort of buy it, and then they obviously always get wrecked, right? Because all the limit orders are ready, so the price goes up, boom, sell. Simple as that. You're screwed. You lose money. Simple as that. So yeah, I would never recommend pump and dump groups, as Nada just said. Passing on that good message in terms of an intelligent message there for you guys to take into account too. Obviously, I know you guys. I know a few people know about that already, right? Yeah, in terms of Bitcoin right now, it would be nice to close above this 10 moving average that we've got coming through here on the short term. That would be the target at around that 32,967. Yeah, 32,967 we got coming through here. In terms of the RSI, as I said earlier, we were oversold here. We were oversold, and this is what we need. We need a bit of consolidation. We need to get back central on the RSI, and then we can talk about the idea of a pump to the upside, right? But in terms of the progression right now, we just need to keep that going, but not insane pumps, right? If we get insane pumps, it's not going to be good, because obviously we're going to have that correction to the downside from there. So yeah, I would be looking at a nice candle close above this 10 moving average, seeing a nice consolidation zone, and then looking at the potential for taking out this previous lower high coming through here at 33,845. Yeah, sounds like ship. Yep, sounds about right, Mr. F. Yeah. Yeah, that's the short term there for Bitcoin for you guys, or for primarily 7. The guy out there, right? It's primarily 7. Yeah, let me have a look at the midterm right now. As you can see, unfortunately, guys, we did invalidate these high lows, right? We did invalidate these high lows, and these were pretty important, pretty crucial to basically hold the line and not fall like so, right? And unfortunately, we have fallen like so. So it is a bit of an indication that we are going to come down. The next bounce point for us would be here at that 31,061. Worst case scenario, we do have this volume weighted ATR band and also this trend line coming down to the lower side of this channel that we've got coming through here, right? So yeah, potential for a wick to come down from there, potential progression in terms of a bounce point from there, right? I don't see us just going, if we are going to see a dump off the cliff, a lot of people get a bit nervous, right? They get a bit nervous seeing insane price action like this. Granted, it is pretty nerve-wracking, but when it's coming down like this, right, and if it is parabolic and it is a bit of a sell-off, right, you just need to think to yourself, it's not just going to keep going down. It's not just going to keep going down. Granted, it's very risky to even think about a position here, but it needs to bounce somewhere, right? If it needs to bounce somewhere, if we have some sort of inkling of where it's going to bounce, obviously I'm not saying trade leverage because you're going to get liquidated if you get a big wick, but I'm saying a potential spot trade is definitely potentially advised, right? And if I jump to the daily, right, you can see the volume weighted ATR band. When we actually saw it last time, right? We saw it last time, and we saw it literally bounce off it and gain stupid amounts of gains to the top side. Like we came all the way up. It's like 30% gain there for Bitcoin. So as I was saying, right, if we are seeing that insane progression to the downside, then insane deep sea dives in terms of the ocean trenches, terms of the ocean trenches, we are going to see definitely a bounce point, right? So we do need to take that into account in terms of a bounce point for Bitcoin there. For me personally, it's around that $29,000 mark. And let me jump to the long term quickly. And I'll jump onto my blue box zones in a sec, because that's got a very strong bounce point, looking like potential for a long position there as well in terms of bounce point if we do see that progression to the downside. And guys, I will be watching for the stock market open today in terms of the US stock market open, because that is obviously going to have a big effect on the price of Bitcoin, just because one, this is primarily caused right now by Donald Trump. He basically said, I don't believe in Bitcoin. It's a complete scam. And obviously, there's a lot of big guns at the top who have taken financial advice forever from Donald Trump, because he is an idiot, right? But he's got insane business entrepreneur tendencies, right? He can make a lot of money. And a lot of people know. A lot of successful business owners know that, so they do follow his advice pretty congruently, kind of like a cult, right? So we need to take that into account, especially obviously correlating with the Wall Street stock market open, right? So yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of a measure move. In terms of this descending triangle we've got coming through here. Granted, it doesn't really look like one, but it is one. Looking like so, but it's got a long way to play out for it to look like that, right? But yeah, so right now we would be looking at a measure move to the downside here, and we would be looking at something along the lines of this. Obviously, if the price does continue, for me personally, I missed the short, I'm done. But we could be looking at a measure move to the downside. If you guys are in a short here, I would be looking at a measure move to the downside here, looking along the lines of this in terms of a percent for that trade. If you did get in, it would be looking around a 12% gain there. For me personally, obviously, as I just said, I have missed this trade here as I was driving. But if we do see a bit of trend reversal, and then we do see a nice little potential retest here, and it does look like we are going to curl back over, obviously referencing a few other indicators as well. There could be eyes for a short there. Trump just wants it cheap. Yep, I think he knows something that he knows something that we know. Simple as that, right? That Bitcoin is going to dominate, and we are still insanely early, right? And I watched that Bitcoin conference in Miami, right? And they basically said one of the stats was only 2% of people in the world have bought or sold Bitcoin. Only 2% of people in the world. Imagine we get to 10%. Just 10% of the world. It's not that many people, right? Not that many people, right? So 10% of the world are buying and selling Bitcoin. You know that price is literally going to 10x. So it's a no-brainer, right, for the future of Bitcoin. But yeah, in terms of a trade for the long term here, it would be something along the lines of this. And in terms of a take profit, it does correlate pretty well with this volume weighted ATR band sat around that 30k mark. So yeah, another sort of indication for a position there to think about. We jump to the weekly here. As you can see here, the weekly, we do have this 55 moving average here. Trump or dump? Trump cause a dump. Trump or dump? Yeah, Trump or dump. I don't know what you mean, bro. I don't know what you mean. But yeah, in terms of the weekly chart here, we do have the 55 moving average coming through here. In terms of finding a level of support, it's not looking so bad, but obviously we still got a long way to go in terms of the weekly candle close, right? Unfortunately, we have invalidated these high low points coming up here. So yeah, it's not looking so good. We are potentially seeing that curl over. Next target to the downside would be that 31,151. If we are going to see that progression to the downside potentially when the stock market opens. If not, we do have that 30k zone. And if we do lose that and do see some insane sort of panic sell-off here, we need to consider this volume weighted ATR band coming up here in terms of a bounce point sat at that 29k, correlating with the short-term point here. So yeah, a few things coming into fruition here that we are going to see a bounce point off that zone. Let me bring up my blue box zone here. I think it's that one there. No, that's the top side. Blue box zone here, the bottom side here. As you can see here, it does actually. Let me do a little bit of an explanation. It is a linear regressional growth curve from the start of Bitcoin to the end, and we continuously hold this bottom line. Obviously, we had COVID, right? The black swan dirty event coming through here. So we obviously lost a lot of price, and that's when Bitcoin saw that 3,700, which is just so cheap, so cheap. But yeah, so yeah, we do actually hold this bottom line of this linear regressional growth curve here. So we do need to think about that in terms of the bottom for Bitcoin. But as you can see here, let me jump to the daily. It's more visible on the daily, right? We do actually find heavy levels of support on these zones, on these blue box zones. So yeah, heavy levels of support in terms of supports and resistance in a sense of these blue box zones, right? So if we are going to see us come down to that level, it is actually perfectly correlated with a bounce point of that 28k there. Oh, sorry, no, 28, 29. Yeah, near enough 29 there. So as you can see, we do have a bounce point coming through here, and vice versa. It's pretty hard to see on the chart actually. Maybe I'll get rid of the WOD. Yeah, so and the bull market barrier. Yeah, so as you can see here, we do obviously pretty much find quite a big level of support on these lines. And yeah, so it's definitely a point to think about in terms of bounce point if we do see that insane panic sell-off later today, right? So yeah, a few things to think about there in terms of Bitcoin. But yeah, guys, that is going to be me. I'm going to round the stream off there. Thank you ever so much for being here. Absolutely means a lot. 2 likes away from 50 likes, guys. If we can get to 50 likes, then I absolutely salute you. That's absolutely amazing if we can. If not, not a problem at all. We can try again tomorrow because I stream every day, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours every single morning. I've gone for 2 hours and 18 minutes now. So guys, if you like the content, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads. I also do continual updates throughout the day as well. So yeah, a few things to think about. Theta is pumping as well at this point in time. Let me have a little look at that. Theta is pumping. Yeah, it's pumping. It's actually reclaiming this symmetrical triangle there, so that's going to invalidate that short position we were looking at. And yeah, guys, appreciate all your support here, guys. I am going to shoot off now. But yeah, yeah, like the stream if you want. And we didn't get to 50. Oh no, we near 1 like away from 50 likes there, guys. Hopefully, when I close the stream here, we do get to, bang on 50 likes. Thank you very much, guys. Absolutely means a lot. Appreciate all your support. And hopefully, I'll see you guys here tomorrow, back for another live stream. Well, I'll see you later on today when I do a nice little update for you guys for that stock market open for you guys there. So yeah, appreciate all your support, guys, and I will see you soon. Tomorrow, in fact, or later today if you want to watch my video. But yeah, peace out, guys. Goodbye for Crypto Chester. I've got to stop rambling on at the end, right? Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.